ground rules don't change for this, do they?
I don't think so.
I think about the only change, Phil, you've got some photography sections or sections for photographers next to the dugouts, to the right of the Yankee dugout toward right field and to the left of the Royal dugout toward left field. As we look at Tommy John warming up under the, I should say, watchful eye of Stan Williams, the Yankee pitching coach. Those are about the only ground rules that I would think might be different. What happens if a ball goes into that photographer section?
Yeah, and it looked like the home plate umpire, Larry McCoy, was pointing in that direction. They have him down both lines, as Bill said. And it was almost last night, if you remember, a foul fly went just into the photographer's booth.
Well, Boston went over and got the ball, and nobody bothered him. But all of a sudden, somebody remembered that those things were there, and they probably had to hurry up and make some kind of decision as to what to do if a ball bounced in those in that section.
We are awaiting the playing of our national anthem. And as we mentioned earlier, no team has ever come back. As Tommy John takes the long walk in from the bullpen, no team, after being down 2-0 in playoff competition, has ever come back to win the last 3. And the Yankees feel they can do it. And there go the Yankees out on the field. Yankees very happy for many reasons to get back to Yankee Stadium. The natural playing conditions, number one, the grass and the dirt. And now we turn it over to Bob Shepard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention now to the microphone near home plate. The presentation of colors by the U.S. Coast Guard and our national anthem sung by Robert Merrill.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
All right, so as the big crowd just settles into their seats, Robert Merrill, the good luck charm for the Yankees for so many years, from the Metropolitan Opera and his beautiful rendition of our national anthem. And as the Yankees warm up, we're waiting for Tommy John to get out on the mound. Tommy not out there, so we'll be back right after this.
Skip through the Kansas City infield. I think that's one of the reasons the Yankees held John off, and they wanted to pitch him here instead of Kansas City. Well, this ball game is about ready to start. Here's Willie Wilson. Willie is 2 for 8 in the series so far, with 4 runs batted in. Over the year, he hit .326, and the ball game is underway. Bucky Dent had better hurry. And they got him by a stride. 1 pitch, 1 out.
I tell you, Bucky showed me something there, Bill. The ball was not hit that hard. He didn't panic, as we're looking at Bucky right now. Hey, a little quick step there, but this really, he's very deep. Didn't hurry his throw, just put a lot on it, and they get the speedy Wilson.
Easily. Now here's UL Washington, the shortstop. He's 2 for 7 in the series. Royals have taken the first 2, so it's up to the Yankees to come back here with their backs up against a wall. They need a win to stay alive, and there's a strike. Washington on the season hit .273 for the Royals, 6 home runs and 53 runs batted in. He's 2 for 7 in this series with a run batted in. Doubled in Wilson yesterday. Royals won that ball game by a score 3-2. 1-1. Royals won the opener 7-2. So it's 2-0 Royals here in games as we play game 3. Two balls and a strike. See that Houston-Philly game? Houston beat the Phillies 1-0.
11 innings, yep.
So the Astros go 2 wins, 1 loss against the Philadelphia Phillies. They'll go up a game, and the game next game will be played in Houston. That'll fall. Base hit for UL Washington. Big turn by Washington, but Brown's throwing the Randolph will chase him back to first base. So UL picks up his third base, and he's now 3 for 8. And the batter is George Brett, the third baseman. He's 2 for 7 against the Yankees so far through the first 2 ball games. One of those 2 base hits, a home run, the other one a double. And John chases Washington back to first base. Royals have been successful 3 times attempting to steal. They've also been caught 3 times. As Brett takes the strike. Larry McCoy's the home plate umpire. Bill Haller's at first base. Ken Kaiser's at second and George Maloney at third. Steve Palermo is umpiring down the left field line and Joe Brinkman down the right field line. And the curve, that might be 2. Randolph, there's 1. Not in time. Bucky threw a bit off balance. He didn't come across the back. He sort of went toward center field and had to throw off balance.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Bill. To throw a little to his right. He wanted to come across the bag. Willie Randolph makes a good play here. And his throw a little low and to the right. And Bucky trying to throw flat-footed, evaded the slide, but Brett beat it out.
So Brett's on at first base, 2 outs, and here's Hal McRae. Yankees have done an excellent job with McRae so far. He's 0 for 6. Been on twice, walked, and he's hit by a pitch. John does not have a good move to first base. He simply wants to let Brett know that he sees him there. Tommy will very seldom pick off a base runner. Too low, ball 1 on McRae. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. On the year, McRae batted .297 for the Royals, hit 14 home runs and drove in 83 runs. Bothered by injury some during the season. And to right, Jackson is there and almost misjudged the ball. Jackson almost waited too long. No runs, a base hit, a man left on base. At the end of 1/2 inning of play, the Royals nothing, and the Yankees are coming up.
All right, for the Royals defensively, Willie Mays Aikens at first base. Frank White, the second baseman. UL Washington at shortstop. George Brett over at third. Willie Wilson from Summit, New Jersey in left field. His speedster Amos Otis with a lot of speed in center. And Clint Hurdle over in right making his first start of the playoffs. Behind the plate, Darrell Porter. And on the mound, the big left-hander Paul Splitoff, who was 114 and lost 11. All right, William, see if Willie Randolph can get them going again.
Well, Willie has in the past. He's 4 for 9 in this series. On the year, Willie hit .294 with 7 home runs and 46 runs batted in addition to walking 119 times. It'll be Randolph, Bucky Dent, and Bob Watson against the left-hander Paul Splittorff. And Willie Randolph takes a strike. Looks like they're going to work Randolph inside.
Seems strange seeing the Royal infielders playing this close, where back in Kansas City they play very deep on the artificial surface.
It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Randolph. And the curve is in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Well, on this surface, you're not going to get that true bounce all the time either.
That's right.
You can get change-ups every once in a while.
Yeah, a little erratic bounce, too.
2-1 on Randolph, leading off of the Yankees in the bottom of the first. Royals did not score in the top half of this inning. Ewell Washington. He's got a strong arm, and they tag Randolph. The Yankees went up and got the ball, came back down. Jeff Thorborg thought Randolph was on the bag when he was tagged, but Bill Haller, the first base umpire, called him out. Here it is.
Let's look at it again. He throws flat-footed, strong throw, but high. And, well, that angle.
Hey, I think I agree with Thorborg.
That he was safe. Let's look at it again from another angle. And Washington, again, the high throw. Yep. He tagged him high on the shoulder. It looked like his foot had hit the bag.
Here's Bucky Dent. Bucky, 2 for 7, skips away from a ball inside. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the first, no score in the ball game. And it's 1-1. And that'll be foul, looking foul down the left side. That's Steve Palermo, who's umpiring down the left field foul line. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Dent. Well, coming into tonight's action, Scooter, you couldn't find much closer hitting. The Royals, as a team through the first 2 games, hit .262 and the Yankees .261. In fact, the Yankees out-hit the Royals 18-16, but the Royals won the first 2 games. 2-2 on Dent. Three and 2 on Dent. Yankees have scored just 4 runs so far through the first 2. Frank White at second. Short hops. 2 outs. And big Bob Watson's a batter. Bob batting .307 on the year. He is 3 for 8 so far in the series. And he hit that double yesterday we showed you into the left field corner that Randolph tried to score on, and a fine relay from Wilson to Brett to Porter and nailed Randolph at home plate. And the curve's a strike. On deck is Reggie Jackson. And he snuck a fastball by him on the outside corner. 2 strikes. One and 2 on Watson. Splittorff is 2-0 in American League Championship Series history. Both those wins against the Yankees. Beat the Yankees in game 2 in '76 and game 1 in '77. Base hit for Watson. And it'll go in the corner. Hurdle runs it down, but Watson will hold at second base with his 4th series hit. When Tom Watson goes the other way, he really stings the ball.
Beautiful. Watch this ball tailing away, goes right with it. And Hurdle misplayed this one. It really skips off the wet grass and is by it before he can get over there. And now Reggie Jackson with a chance to put the Yankees on top.
That's Watson's 3rd double in this series. He has 3 doubles and a single in 9 trips. Here's Reggie Jackson, 2 for 8. I think Reggie finally yesterday, Phil, decided to hit the ball where it was pitched.
Yep, he had been trying to pull everything.
And he didn't take that big cut at that one. Looks like he's trying to go to left field or up the middle. Reggie trying to get the run in. The Royals have pitched him away. Had a great year in 1978 in the playoff series against Kansas City. 462 for Jackson. 1 strike. And he couldn't check it. In fact, he got a piece of it.
Yeah.
Yep. No balls, 2 strikes. There's Watson down at second base, 2 outs. No score in the bottom of the 1st. With the count, no balls and 2 strikes on Jackson. And that's fouled off upper deck left side. Well, Reggie accomplished 1 goal that he had not attained before. He hit 300 for the first time in his career. He would have liked to lead the American League in home runs with 41, but Ben Oglivie caught him on the last day. Jackson and Oglivie tying for the American League home run leadership with 41 each. And Jackson drove in 111 runs for the Yankees. And once again, he goes the other way. Reggie Jackson trying to hit home runs would have either popped that ball up or missed it completely.
Yep. I like it when Reggie does that. Protects the outside part of the plate.
I think the Yankees would like to get on the board first. And they've got Watson down at second base with 2 outs. The count, no balls, 2 strikes still on Reggie Jackson. Struck him out, and Porter will tag him before he leaves home plate. No runs, a base hit, man left on base at the end of 1. Yankees nothing, Royals nothing.
Celeste was...
Well, no score at top of the 2nd. A reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Yankees and WPIX is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game or any segment thereof without the express written consent of the Yankees is prohibited. All right, Tommy John will be working to Amos Otis, Willie Aikens, and Darrell Porter. They've done pretty well against both types of pitching, Bill.
Well, they won it, didn't they?
Yeah, sure did.
I'm sure the Yankees would have comparable stats if they will be put up there. Otis will lead off here. He would rather hit against left-handers than right-handers. He's 3 for 8 so far in the series. On the year, hit .251 for the Royals. It'll be Otis, Aikens, and Darrell Porter against Tommy John here in the 2nd inning. Scoreless ball game. Each team with 1 base hit. And a strike. John, like Splittorff, has also pitched well in league championship play. He's 2-0. Both those wins, though, with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And he has a string of 15 straight scoreless innings now in league championship series play. And he's given up just 1 run in his last 19 innings of pitching in league championship play. Bucky Dent gets another shot at shortstop. In the dirt, but Watson
Oh.
comes up with it.
What
Good
a
by
play.
Bob Watson.
That was a wicked hop, Bill.
Well, I think he's lucky, Bill. It took a long bounce to him. Let's watch it.
Yep.
Bucky turns that ball over, see it?
Yeah, he's been doing that a little bit. The sinker way out in front of Watson, and it came up, as Bill said, didn't stay on the ground and scoot under the glove. That's a big out.
So there's one away here in the second. Good play by Bob Watkins. Mr. Watson. Willie Mays Aikens a batter. Aikens 1 for 7. That was a big hit. Beat Guidry.
2 RBIs after they walked a man to get to him.
And he takes low, ball 1. Yankees suing the Royals, all left-handers. Guidry started the first game. Rudy May started yesterday. Tommy John here tonight. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on Aikens. Well, he guessed curveball yesterday on Rudy May and really ripped one to right field. And it's 2-1 on Aikens.
Yeah, he really did hit that ball. Tremendous foul. They just moved Bobby Brown more over towards direct center field. He was playing over in left center on Aikens.
And it's 2-2. And he goes the other way for a base hit. Pinella can cut him down. Wakens does not run well, and he'll have to hold at first base.
Outstanding play by Pinella. Now, if that were in Kansas City, that ball would have been bouncing off the wall and at least a double for Aikens.
Well, I don't know about Aikens now.
Well,
Willie, we laugh, but it's not. We shouldn't probably laugh because he has had some knee problems, but even before the knee problems, he couldn't run well.
that's right.
Darrell Porter, the batter. He's hitting .249 on the year, 7 home runs, 51 runs batted in, 1 for 7 in the series. And John misses outside. 1 out, 1 on, no score in the second inning. There's Porter. In the past, he has really hurt the Yankees. John's curve misses, 2 balls, no strikes. And it's 2-1. Two and 2 on Porter. Tommy John threading the needle on the outside corner. And the curveball just missed. John wanted it. 3 and 2 on Porter.
You see Tommy recoil on that one?
Let's see if they'll start Aikens on this 3-2 pitch with 1 away. He's going. And it's a foul ball. Foul ball off first base.
No chance for Watson to recover. He was moving to his right as the pitch came in, and then he tried to jump back to his left. Man, this is close again to hitting that foul line. Really jerked on that one, almost fell down, and there you see Watson just miss it. And just foul.
But still 3 and 2 on Porter. 1 away, and probably once again, Willie Aikens will be running from first base. Good chance for a DP if John can strike out Porter. And that's another foul ball. He'll get foul off first.
Tommy better throw him a little breaking pitch here. That Porter's looking for that fastball, just pulling everything. That or a good Scroogey. Little change of speed.
Aikens getting a sign from Gordon McKenzie, his third base coach, as he goes back to first. He'll be running again. 3 and 2 on Porter with 1 down here in the second inning, a scoreless ball game. And John misses outside, ball 4. And the Royals have runners at first and second with one away. And the batter is the right fielder, Clint Hurdle. He's batting for the first time in the series. He hit 294 on the year, 10 home runs and 60 runs batted in. A little odd they would start Hurdle against the left-hander John when they had been playing Watson in right field. That might be 2. Dent Randolph, double play, 6-4-3. No runs, a base hit, man left on base. We're going to the bottom of the second. Yankees nothing, and the Kansas City Royals nothing.
Because not.
All right, scoreless ball game. We look at Dick Hauser pacing the Yankee dugout. And in the corner,
Jim Fry.
Jim Fry. Got the dark glasses on.
Billy Connors, his pitching coach, with his hands on his hips.
Hey, I told Don Connie, every time I mention a birthday or an anniversary or a wedding, we win. And Nancy Pope, Lev Pope's daughter, who is the president of Channel 11 WPIX, and Tommy O'Connell are getting married tomorrow. Congratulations.
All right, Scooter, and taking high is Eric Soderholm, leading off for the Yankees here in the second. Be a nice wedding present for them.
Yep, nice win.
Soderholm 1 for 4 in the series, and that'll be out of play. No chance for Porter. He'll give it a shot, though, but that'll be way back in the seats. On deck is Rick Cerrone. You see him there with Porter.
There's Rick Cerrone on deck.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike. He just hooked it, got out in front a bit too much, and pulled it foul in the upper deck, way down the left field line.
Man, I tell you, Soderholm timed the extension of his bat and bringing the leg back and the bat back at the same time. He did everything perfect except he was, watch this, stepping in the hips. Oh.
He really had a quick bat.
Didn't he?
Takes the curve, full count, 3-2 on Soderholm. And he pops it up. Frank White, second baseman, calling. And there's one away. Soderholm let that ball get in just a little bit and got under it. 1 down here in the second inning. And Rick Cerrone is the batter. Cerrone 3 for 8 in the series. A 1-run batted in. One of Cerrone's 3 base hits, a home run. He and Piniella hit back-to-back home runs in game 1. It was not enough. Kansas City won that ball game 7-2, and they also won yesterday, last night, by a score of 3-2. So the Yankees have scored just 4 runs through the first 2 games, and the Royals have scored 10 then. And the curve misses. Yankees have 19 base hits in the series, and the Royals 18. 2-0 on Cerrone. One thing the Royals have said, Scooter, is that Cerrone is one of the more underrated ball players in the American League.
Yep, they're very high on Cerrone.
And Rick takes a strike. It's 2-1. No score in the ball game. Playing in the second inning. 1 out, nobody on, as Lou Piniella is on deck. And it's fouled back. Field back out of play. 2-2. Cerrone will have to get a lot of votes in this year's most valuable player race.
No doubt about that.
Got him with a breaking ball. Second strikeout for Splitor. And they're 2 outs. With a curveball here on Cerrone.
Good motion, too. It goes down and Rick way out in front.
Oh, Splittorff has chalked up his second strikeout, and the batter now is Lou Piniella. Lou is 1 for 3. With a run batted in, that base hit a home run, hit it behind Cerrone. Splittorff looks fast. It's not that fastball past Piniella. Strike 1. And misses. 1-1. Two balls and a strike on Piniella. 2 outs, nobody on base. Yankees and Royals, no score in the second inning. And it's 3-1. All year, Phil, the Yankees have sort of built walls to try to climb over, and have done it again here, of course, with the help of Kansas City.
Yep.
Royals have been tough through the first 2. Lou Piniella's yelling at Jim Fry over there. Lou would like to get something going.
Attaboy, Lou.
Lou does not like to lose.
Nope.
And you like players like that. He would do anything to try to ignite the Yankees. And it's ball 4. Piniella off. That's the first pass given up by Splittorff. Piniella's on at first base. There are 2 outs.
That's only the 3rd walk given up by Kansas City pitchers in this series. The Yankees have given up 9 base on balls.
Big difference.
Yep.
Rodriguez, Aurelio Rodriguez, 1 for 4 in the series. There are 2 outs. Piniella's at first base. And the curve is fouled off. Lou, of course, not a threat to steal, but I think in this situation, with the Yankees needing a win, Fry is going to make sure he's not going to play Akins behind Piniella. Normally, you would play the first baseman behind Lou. Two strikes on Rodriguez. Porter caught that ball and sort of eased it into the strike zone. That's good catching. A lot of catchers catch the ball and take it away from the strike zone. That might be trouble. With that hitting, Rodriguez beat it out with Piniella holding second base. Little chopper down the third baseline. Splittorff took a long time getting to that ball.
Not only that, but if he lets it go, it's got a kick foul. Big break for the Yankees here. A lot of English. And then he throws off balance. And Aurelio beats it out.
So the Yankee runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Bobby Brown will try to get the Yankees on the board first here in Game 3. Bobby's been held hitless so far by the Royals. He's 0 for 6. He's about due. And he takes inside, ball 1. On the ground is short. Washington is there. Flips to White for the force on Rodriguez. That'll retire the side. No runs, a base hit. 2 men left at the end of 2. Yankees nothing and Kansas City nothing.
Well, we'll be going to the top of the 3rd. This game is starting like the National League playoff game with Philadelphia at Houston this afternoon. Went 11 innings, and Houston won it 1-0 on a triple by Joe Morgan in the bottom of the 11th, and then a sacrifice fly. So Houston surprising a lot of people. And I'll tell you one thing, Bill White, as we look at Yogi by the red phone, if the Phillies lose this playoff, they might lock the city up so they can't get back in. Those Phillies fans are just as fanatic as the old Dodger fans. And they've gone through a lot of grief, as you know.
Yeah, that's last time the Phillies won, 1950.
Yep.
The old whiz kids. That's at least the last time they won a National League pennant. They lost to you guys that year, right?
Yeah, 4 in a row. But they've had a couple of chances to win their divisional title.
Well, they always bounce up against the Dodgers.
Dodgers or Cincinnati, yep.
Yep. Well, Frank White will lead off for the Royals here in the third. No score in the ball game. White has 5 base hits and 7 times up. And he takes the curve for a strike. White needs 3 hits tonight to break the league championship record for hits in a 3-game series. The current mark is 7. Brooks Robinson did it in 69 and 70 with Baltimore. Art Shamsky with the Mets in 69 did it, and Jay Johnstone in 1976 with the Phillies. They all got 7 hits in a 3-game series, and the count is 2 balls and a strike on Frank White. What cut by Rodriguez. Aurelio was playing weight on the grass, and all he did, put the left hand up, ball was there, 1 away. White stung that one.
He really did, and Aurelio was going to jump, but at the last second didn't have to, just reached high.
Well, it seems, Phil, in all series, you pay so much attention, in this case, to a Brett and a McRae, and maybe a Willie Wilson, you forget about a Frank White.
Yep.
Here's Wilson 0 for 1. Dent threw him out in the first inning. And he takes the strike. Wilson 2 for 9 now in the series. 1-1. The Royals have 2 switch hitters, Wilson and Washington. 4 left-handed batters, Brett, Akins, Porter, and Hurdle. Now Dent's really going to have to hurry. Makes the play.
Holy cow. Now that was beautiful, Bill.
Yep.
Had he not started when he did and reached down and backhanded that ball before it hits the ground, and then the strong throw off balance. Watch Bucky. This was great instinct right there. Got it before the second bounce, and the off balance throw with plenty on it. Beautiful.
Here it is again, another angle.
I told Bucky he was going to have a busy night tonight, and he has. That's 5 chances already in the first 2 2/3 innings.
And they're 2 outs. Yankees playing fine defensive baseball here at home. U.L. Washington, the batter, he singled to center field in the first. Was forced at second by Brett. And it's a ball high. It's always good to get back home.
Oh, boy, everything feels better, tastes better, and looks better.
Two 2-0 on Washington. Talking about fielding, the Royals have yet to make an error in this series. One of the reasons they've won 2, lost none so far. Right back through the middle, and Willie Randolph should throw him out. Good stretch by Watson. Side retired. Put out 1-4-3. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 2.5. Yankees nothing. Royals nothing. Top of the Yankee batting order. Willie Randolph leading off against Paul Splittorff here in the 3rd inning. It's 0-0. And the curve is low, ball 1. Willie bounced short in the 1st inning. He's 4 for 10 in the series. Back up the middle, base hit. Randolph picks up his 5th base hit. And he joins the Royals' Frank White with 5 base hits. Both fine second basemen. Well, Willie now has a shot at a record. Same record White has a shot at. He's at first base, nobody out. Bucky Dent's the batter. Bucky's been up once, bounced to second. That was the Yankees' 3rd base hit off Splittorff. They've gotten at least 1 base hit through the first 3 innings. Watson doubled with 2 outs in the first. Rodriguez singled, an infield hit in the 2nd inning. And Randolph leadoff single here in the 3rd. Fouled back by Dent, strike 1. Bucky 2 for 8 in the series. Yankees got on the board first in game 1, but they lost it 7-2. Royals made their 3-run hold up yesterday and beat the Yankees 3-2. And the curve knocked down by Splittorff. There's 1. Double play. Good off-balance throw there at second base. An excellent stretch by Akins. Let's watch it again. Right back to Splittorff. Backhands, knocks it down. The ball stays there for him. Underhand throw. Taken by White. He throws off balance for a 1-4-3 double play. And there are 2 outs. Each team now has turned over a double play. Bob Watson now batting with nobody on. And the Royals continue to play flawlessly defensively. Strike 1. A 1-1 on Watson. Curve bounced up the middle. Watson picks up his 5th series hit. And he's 2 for 2.
Boy, that double
play, a big one.
Oh, big one. All right. Reggie's got to hit one here to really get the Yankees alive. He hits right down on this curveball. Yeah, that's why Watson gets a lot of base hits, Bill. Another guy might swing up on a curveball and pop it up.
He gets that top hand over on it.
All right.
Watson, of course, not a threat to steal, and he'll be held there by Akins for some reason, as the Yankee fans want it done again. Looking back at 77 and 78, Jackson struck out in the first inning. One of 2 strikeouts chalked up by Paul Splittorff. And a strike.
Pitching Reggie down so far tonight.
Well, now they decide to play behind Watson at first base. Akins will move behind Watson. Out of play, upper deck left side. 2 strikes on Jackson.
Almost looked like Reggie again is trying to hit everything to left field.
I think he's trying to get his timing down, Scooter. He realizes that the Royals are going to pitch him away, and it's hard to hit a home run, to pull that ball away. And a balk.
How do you like that? Looked like Splittorff couldn't get his foot off the mound the way he wanted to.
Well, Akins had told him the pitch before he was going to play behind Jackson. Now Fry wants to talk to Bill Haller about the play.
Well, I tell you, Splittorff didn't argue. Neither did Akins or Porter. And Fry gets the word.
Well, I guess he just wanted the explanation. Huh?
Let's look at it. He
right
started
there.
right there.
Yep.
Broke the arms just the least little bit.
Well, he would have had to step off before he started that move. He did things backwards. Started in his motion and then stopped and backed off. If he had backed off, then started the motion, he'd have been all right. Of course, that's illegal too, but they wouldn't have called it.
Right.
You can't deceive the base runner. 2 strikes on Jackson with 2 outs. And it's popped up. This might be playable off third by Brett. Nope, you can't get to it. That ball really sailed in there.
It really did. Got above the stadium roof, and what little wind there is pushed it foul.
Evidently, that wind is blowing in from right field.
You see Reggie swinging late on almost every pitch right now, just trying to make contact.
Well, contact here is a big one because the go-ahead run is down at second base with 2 outs. Tucked him out with a slow curve. Jackson goes down swinging for the second time. No runs, 2 hits, a man left. Bill Rizzuto will take you over the next 3 at the end of 3. Yankees nothing, Kansas City nothing.
And Paul Splithoff hooked up in a pitcher's duel. 3 scoreless innings. We go into the top of the 4th. And it'll be Brett, McRae, and Otis. Oh, look at this. Hey, that's pretty good. Pretty good likeness. Got me a little taller than I normally am. Well, I like it. All right. George Brett bounced into a force play his first time up. He had 2 hits in the first ball game. Did not have any in last night's ball game. 0 for 1 tonight. Batted .390 on the year. Unbelievable. Just missed with the curveball 1. Brett's another hitter who gets that good rhythm when he's hitting well. Leaning into the pitch. And fouls it just below us, 1-1. Tommy John, 22-9 on the year. Still in the running for the Cy Young Award. High and away, 2-1. Out in front, he took a little bit off. Good motion by Tommy John. 2-2. Brett always dangerous in this ballpark.
I'll never forget the 3 home runs he hit here in one game.
Oh, there it is. And he popped him up in shallow left. Piniella coming on, calling for it, and makes the catch. 1 man out.
It was a long run for Piniella as the Yankees continue to play the hitters very deep in the outfield, Phil.
Yeah. Lou came a long ways. He had to come in a long ways out in Kansas City, too. Here's Hal McRae. And the Yankees have really pitched McRae well in the series. He flied to right his first time up. Good curveball, strike 1.
Even though McRae is 0 for 7 in the series, he's still the kind of hitter that can hurt you in a situation.
Yep. Unusual batting stance. Deep in the box, seems to fall into the pitch. Steps right towards it. 1-1.
Good power to right center field.
And lined up the middle as his first hit of the series. He hit a bullet to center field. Third hit off Tommy John. And now Amos Otis, who bounced to short his first time up. And they want to take a look at that baseball.
Had a very interesting talk while we have a moment, Phil, with Willie Wilson before the ball game regarding the play last night. About him overthrowing UL Washington, throwing to Brett. He said he was not trying to hit either man. He was throwing in an area. He said he knew both the cutoff men were lined up that way. He was just trying to get as much on the throw as he could into that area and get the ball to one or the other in the air.
Well, it really worked, and he got a lot on it. All right, Otis. But first, the throw to first, McRae back.
Really not a pre-designed play. He said they just both line up. And he tries to get the ball in that direction.
Not a bad idea. One man out, no score, top of the fourth. Low and away, ball one. McRae, an excellent base runner. Otis really makes Tommy wait. He makes every pitcher wait, for that matter.
McRae, a very hard base runner, too. There's a ground ball. There'll be a collision at second base. You can bet on it.
He has said that. Throw to first, and he's back. Who did he hit so hard? Was it Willie Randolph?
Willie Randolph. Randolph has reminded his teammates of that, too.
Now, Otis, Tommy could have hurt his arm on that one. The umpire is not supposed to give time if the pitcher is in the act of delivering the ball. But they give the batter a lot of leeway.
Sometimes too much.
Right. And Tommy's making Otis wait. Let's see if Amos steps out again.
Of course, the entire game is designed for the hitter. Take as much away from the pitcher as possible.
Yep. Look out, right in and out of the Yankee dugout. Hit somebody on the shoulder there?
That's Louis Tiant rubbing his shoulder.
No. Is it?
Isn't it? Or is that Rupert?
I think it's Rupert
That's
Jones.
Rupert Jones. It is Rupert.
He's been hurt enough this year. Oh, the rain is coming down again. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The umbrellas are up. Some of the fans scurrying back. There they are. Had quite a bit of rain before the game started. Stopped just in time. No score, top of the 4th.
Neither team able to take batting practice or infield. Though some of the Yankee early arrivals could have, but they elected not to, I'm told.
And fly ball to right field. Jackson started in, goes back, makes the catch. And I tell you, Otis just hit that one-hand and the ball really carried out to right field. 2 men out. Reggie.
Here it is again. Jackson had already started in when the camera picked him up there on the replay. He got back in time to make the catch. Ball is carrying well, or at least that time. And of course, Tommy John, if you're going to hit him, you got to hit him the opposite way. Otis got a lot on it, you said, with just one hand on the bat.
All right, here's Akins, who lined a single to left field. It was almost the duplicate of the pitch that Guidry had thrown him right in on his hands. He fought it off, hit it the opposite way. And you can see the rain coming down hard. Ball 1. And now Bob Watson, who has a lot of problems when it does rain. Remember, he had to take himself out of that 1 ball game, Frank.
He did because he could not see through his outside eyeglasses. Reggie Jackson also wears the outside glasses, but he can keep the bill of the cap pulled down lower. Because most of his plays, he's got to look up for the fly ball. Watson has to keep the cap back so he can see the throw come across and the ground ball.
A little bit low. 2-0. And it's not going to be long before the umpires call a halt to this. Bill Haller wants to. He calls it. Bill Haller could not stand it anymore. He said, let's get the tarpaulin on. It's coming down too hard. And Larry McCoy. I imagine Haller would be the crew chief of this group, Frank.
Well, he is the most veteran umpire in the American League. Usually, the plate umpire is the one who is in charge of the ball game and would make the call, but Bill Haller says that's enough. Let's get the tarpaulin out. As Haller, Kaiser, and McCoy have a little chat.
Well, we see Lee McPhail already down on the field going into the walking on top of the Yankee dugout. And I imagine he'll go in and confer with the umpires. Tarpaulin is wet from the first rainfall, so it's not too easy to put down. They got the one at first base, the second down very fast. The one from third to home having a little problem. Now they're going. You can see the mud on the tarpaulin, how difficult the one at third base is to roll. They're going to need some help from the rest of the crew once they get their part down. So it looks like a long night at the stadium, Frank.
Could very, very well be, and as long as the Yankees can come back and win this ball game, it doesn't matter how long, one and all of us stay here. Of course, if this game goes to Kansas City, we've all got a long, long vacation.
Yeah, that's right. And it's too early to have a vacation.
Yes, it really is. You know, I don't want to start my vacation till somewhere around the 22nd of October. Get the Yankees through this into the World Series. Of course, no team has ever come back after losing the first 2 games of a championship series. But there's always a first for everything.
It's about time that precedent was broken.
Well, the Yankees are confident. The rain falling around Tommy John.
That's back a little ways just before they called the game. And I don't believe it'll bother Tommy John as much as it might Paul Splitoff a night like this.
Well, Splitoff has had a problem with his back all season long.
Right.
Tommy has the back problem, though, that started in that ball game he pitched up in Cleveland.
Yes, he does.
That was probably one of the big reasons Tommy did not start the first game of this championship series out in Kansas City.
Yeah, that and the fact of the artificial turf with all these ground balls that he throws.
Well, Tommy maintains he'd rather pitch on the artificial
No
turf.
kid.
Yeah,
It's hard to believe.
He said go back and look at my record with the Dodgers on the artificial surface.
I'm sure the infielders aren't too happy, though, because they do get a lot of work. And they don't have quite as much time to get to that ball as they would on the grass and the dirt.
Here at Yankee Stadium, in a moment or two, we'll be going to Network News. Incidentally, the Houston Astros, if you had not heard, and it's not incidentally, it's just throwing it in here, won their ball game from Philadelphia in extra innings this afternoon, 1-0. But they lost a key player down there.
Yes, Cesar Cedeno. And
well, 32 minutes, really. They called time at 9:26. It is now 9:58 on the scoreboard clock here at Yankee Stadium, which, incidentally, the scoreboard clock is the official clock in every ball game. We learned that from the umpires earlier this year when we were wondering if one umpire might not keep an official watch, and then we were told, nope, the scoreboard clock is the official clock so that everybody can see it. So Willie Aikens steps in against Tommy John. We're back to action. Top half of the 4th inning. No score in the ball game. 2 outs. And Hal McRae, the base runner, down at first. And we'll see if McRae might be running here on the first pitch to Aikens. Phil?
All right, Frank, good observation. He doesn't go, and it's lined off the glove of Watson. And Randolph picks it up but cannot make a play. Bob Watson almost coming up with a spectacular catch. It's a base hit. Aikens wasted no time jumping on Tommy John's first pitch. So runners at first and second.
There it is. Aikens figured John would throw a fastball perhaps on the first pitch after the long rain delay, and he hammered it off Watson's glove right there. Watson, had he not been holding McRae on, might have been able to catch that ball a little more lateral leeway. Incidentally, Willie Wilson said that is why he has not been running one on first base in this series. He is making the first baseman hold him on to open up the right side of the infield for the men batting behind him.
All right, unselfish play by Willie Wilson. Darrell Porter walked his first time up. The only walk issued by Tommy John. 2 out, 2 on, and no score here in the top of the 4th inning. Almost a wild pitch, ball 1. There's that last pitch by Tommy. Way low, 1 hop by Cerrone. Low again, 2-0.
Yankee pitching staff is a tough staff to catch. Tommy John with that sinker, especially tough to catch.
Cerrone's done an excellent job all year handling him. Strike 1. Now that time Tommy came a little bit more overhand. He's been throwing, as you know, all year mostly sidearm. His ball moves more that way. Line foul. Holy cow, they are coming so close to that foul line.
Umpire out in right field is Joe Brickman. The camera was on him.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 men on. No score. Top of the 4th. And
there's Tommy Underwood and Ron Davis loosening up now in the Yankee bullpen. Underwood and Davis.
He hung the curve way inside, 3-2. Now the runners will be going. Full count, 2 out. And a fly ball to left. Piniella right there. Hartley has to move, makes the catch. And John gets out of the jam. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. At the end of 3.5, Royals nothing and the Yankees nothing.
We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning here at Yankee Stadium. It'll be Eric Soderholm, Rick Cerone, and Lou Piniella, all right-hand hitters, coming up against left-hander Paul Splittorff. And we'll see if the rain delay affected Splittorff at all, Phil.
Right, Frank. Of course, he'll get as much time as he needs to warm up. It's not like between innings where he gets just 8 pitches.
Splittorff had sort of a tough luck season health-wise. He had back spasms. In fact, they came on him right here at Yankee Stadium when the Royals were in earlier this year. He missed several turns. Told me before the ball game, though, that he has felt good over the last part of the season. Splittorff has beaten the Yankees twice in postseason play. In regular season games, he has a career mark of 11-11. So overall, he has won 13 and lost 11 times to the New York Yankees. And the mark might be on the first batter here. Soderholm has a good career record against Splittorff. Earlier this year, Soderholm took Splittorff to the bridge, as they say, had a long home run off of him.
Well, he just missed, Frank, prior to popping out in the 2nd inning. Remember that tremendous foul in the upper deck?
Right, way back in the upper deck. He got around well on him.
All right, Eric Soderholm.
Take a look at Splittorff up close in slow motion. That move has had him an excellent career with the Kansas City Royals.
And he pops one up to right field. Hurdle makes the catch. 1 man out. The outfield's going to be a little bit wet as we wait for Rick Cerone to come up, and the rain is starting again. And starting heavy. The umbrellas come up. Rick struck out his first time up. Splittorff threw him a beautiful off-speed breaking pitch.
Well, we had excellent weather out in Kansas City, and the Royals won 2 games. Maybe with the inclement weather here in New York, the Yankees can turn it around.
All right. 1 out, nobody on. No score, bottom of the 4th. Ball 1. Two and nothing. See the raindrops coming down on the Royals. Foul tip. It's 1-1, rather 2 balls and a strike. Splittorff with a good fastball tonight. Lou Piniella on deck. And pops it high in the air. Let's see if Porter's got room. No, runs out of room. Hits on the screen. Oh, there's that crazy hairdo man again. Haven't seen much of him lately.
I think he's been following the National League.
Oh.
I saw him on television the other night, the ball game down in Philadelphia. He gets around.
Yes, he does. Usually gets in for nothing, too. Pretty good gate crasher. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Well, that hair looks like it's alive, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And that time Rick almost waited long enough. That was a pitch he struck out on the first time up. Each team with 4 base hits. Neither team has made an error. Neither team has scored. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out, nobody on. Again out in front. Center field, and Amos Otis makes the catch. Ball hit right on the nose. Line drive to Amos. 2 men out. And now Lou Piniella, who walked his first time up. That's the only walk in the ball game given up by Splitoff. Tommy John has walked 1. Ball 1. Piniella 1 for 3 in the playoff series. 2 balls, no strikes. And timeout, something thrown out on the field.
Jim Fry, the rookie manager of the Kansas City Royals.
Foul back and out of play in the upper deck. 2 balls and a strike.
Fry is not getting on Piniella now as he did last time Lou's at bat.
I think Lou scared him a little bit. 3 balls and a strike. Splitoff wanted that one. Let's see, there's Deckhauser. Well, 2 rookie managers in this playoff series, Fry and Hauser, and I guess Dallas Green had just a little bit of experience last year, Frank.
Yes.
Bounce foul. Right in the photographer's booth. 3-2.
Of course, Bill Verdon, a veteran manager of the Houston Astros, one-time Yankee manager, Tommy John, hoping that his teammates can get him at least 1 run to work with.
Foul back, out of play.
Don't you imagine Bill Verdon is sort of rooting for the Yankees in this American League
yes.
Championship Series? Wouldn't he love to come back?
Absolutely.
There are Splitoff's figures, lifetime and regular season play against the Yankees.
Hard grounder and bobbled, but grabbed by Brett and throws him out. So Brett stayed with it. Hard ground ball, 3 up, 3 down, into 4. Royals nothing, Yankees nothing.
Well, the camera goes around the stands where the rain is still falling, not as hard as it was earlier in the ball game, and we're all set for the top half of the 5th inning. The KC Royals will have Clint Hurdle, Frank White, and Willie Wilson. That gentleman over there is very, very happy about something, probably his neighbor with a towel over his head. Who is that? That's John Schuerholz next to him, I believe, of the
And Lee
Kansas City.
McPhail walked before across the Yankee dugout with a towel. Well, we'll check. Here's Clint Hurdle, who hit into a double play his first time up. Ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. 2-1. Score top of the 5th, 0-0. Strike 2. Tommy keeps hitting that outside corner against the left-handers. He got him. First strikeout for Tommy John.
Here it is again. Tommy just keeps working that outside corner. Riddle started to swing, laid off, and he is called out on strikes. From behind the plate, looked awfully good.
All right, Frank. And here is another Frank. Frank White, who lined hard to Rodriguez his first time up.
Five hits so far on the championship series for Frank White. Bob Watson and Willie Randolph also have 5.
Uh-oh, that's gone. It's a 1-0 ball game. Frank White has just hit one into the left field seats off Tommy John, and the Royals are out in front, 1-0. No doubt about that one, Frank.
No doubt about it, and Frank White, I think, has a leg up on most valuable player of this championship series. They will officially name an MVP for the first time since the inception of championship series play in the American League in 1969.
Right.
Frank White's 6th hit, and it's going to go all the way. It looked like it hung up there for him. White was looking for it and drills it well back into the left field seats. A 1-0 Kansas City lead.
All right, Willie Wilson bounced to short twice, takes the ball outside. Thrown out twice by Bucky Dent. One a great play by Bucky. See Rick wanting that ball down. Tommy's starting to get it high in the Kansas City bench. Hugging Frank White, and well, they should.
When Frank gets his pitch, he can hit it out. He hit 7 home runs during the regular season. You don't think of him as a home run hitter, but he will hurt you with the long ball on occasion, and he has just hurt the Yankees.
Lined a base hit for Willie Wilson. And Reggie bobbles the ball, but Wilson holds. Gets it in quickly. And we're going to get action in the Yankee bullpen quickly.
Now we'll see how here it is again. That pitch away from him, and Wilson goes the opposite way with it. Line shot into right. We'll see how Wilson and Fry are going to play it now. Willie told me in the pregame show tonight that the reason he was not running, he was holding the first baseman at first base because UL Washington goes to the right side, and of course so does Brett. In the Yankee bullpen, the left-hander Tommy Underwood, the right-hander is Ron Davis.
All right, I almost think Willie Wilson's got to try and steal a base here. As Tommy John exchanges baseballs. 1 out, 1-0. The Royals leading top of the 5th. Watson holding the bag against Wilson. Not a good move by Tommy. Swing and a miss. That time Wilson was moving back to first base as Tommy John delivered the pitch. Washington tried to hit it through that hole there.
Batting right-handed, Washington is a good opposite field hitter.
Willie back again. He was going to bunt, took it a little low, 1-1.
Pretty good figures right there.
Give Cerrone half a chance, he'll throw you out. He'll get that big jump on the pitchers. Outside, 2-1. UL Washington looking for a sign. Hit and run.
During the regular season, Wilson was on his own unless he was given a red light, specifically told not to steal.
And a bouncer in front of the plate. Cerrone's going to have to hurry. Falls down. They got him. Great play by Cerrone as his right foot went out from under him, but he still made the play.
Wilson goes to second after wonder if Watson was hurt on that play. Let's watch it again right off the end of the bat. From his knee, threw him out, and you see Watson was stepped on.
Yep.
UL Washington stepped on Bob Watson's left foot and spiked him on the foot.
He was way inside that baseline, too. The step on Watson's foot. Plus Bob just had the corner of the bag. But it looks like he's all right. Tying it up.
Well, Watson played nearly all year with a broken finger on his left hand. So a spike wound isn't going to take him out.
No way.
One thing that's going to take Watson out is the raindrops on the glasses.
Yep. He's going to dry him off again.
There it is again. You can see him right down on the left foot.
Gene Monahan, the Yankee trainer, hands Watson his glove. 2 men are out. And George Brett will be the batter. Wilson at second base. The Royals leading 1-0. Strike one. Big man for the Yankees to get out here. Get out of this inning with just 1 run. 1-1.
Now that rain is coming down even harder now. Not as hard as it was when time was called, but harder than it was just a few minutes ago.
Grounded to Bucky Dent. And Bucky throws him out. But the Royals do pick up a run on 2 hits. The homer by White. They leave a man. And at the end of 4 1/2, Royals 1, Yankees 0.
A lot.
Bobby Brown and Willie Randolph to follow. Rodriguez with a base hit in the second inning. Bounces it foul. 0-1. We certainly talk about George enough. He gets enough publicity. Talk about Ewing Kaufman, owner of the Kansas City Royals. Man who's built a pretty good ball club there. And just 1 game away, or half a game right now, from their first ever pennant.
I bet he's really happy.
Pop foul out of play.
Well, it's interesting as far as the way they built their ball clubs, the philosophies. I think on 25 men playing here tonight for the Royals, 15 have come through their farm system. And the Yankees have the 25, 2. And that's Bobby Mercer, who, of course, was here very early, 65, and came back. And, of course, Ron Guidry.
Of course, you got to give George Steinbrenner credit for the fact that the Yankee farm clubs now are very strong where they weren't before. He spent the money down there in the farm clubs, and I think you will be seeing a lot of players coming out of the Yankee farm club.
2-2. If I'm not mistaken, the Yankee farm system, all the clubs except one won a pennant this year and last year.
They've been really coming along the last 2-3 years since he's put that. He puts down a manager down here, a pitching coach, a hitting coach. He's really going all out.
Well, I talked to Joe Altobelli, who managed the Columbus Club, had a fantastic year, and he had John Kennedy, who we played against in the 1966 World Series for the Dodgers, and he had Sammy Ellis, who used to pitch for the Cincinnati Reds.
3-2 pitch is popped up, shallow right field. Frank White, man of the hour right now, makes the catch. 1 gone.
Al, that's the direction our organization is going to in the future. We're going to go and build up our farm club and bring the players up through our system.
What about free agents? Will you go after any of those?
We might take a little shot at them this first year here and maybe a little bit next year, but we're not going to do anything to hurt our organization. We like getting those players who want no trade, no cut contracts.
You don't think George is going to get any free agents if they lose tonight, do you?
1-0 the count on Bobby Brown.
I think he'll be looking for some speedy outfielders next year, and I wouldn't be too surprised if he made a strong bid for that young man over there in San Diego.
He's got the Bucks to sign him, too. Dave Winfield we're talking about. 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air to left center field. And Willie Wilson makes the catch. 2 down. 2 out in the 5th inning with the bases empty. And Willie Randolph, the batter, grounded out and singled. 2 out, bases empty. The Yankees have scored only 4 runs in this series. 3 of them have been on home runs with the bases empty. Pinella, Cerrone, and Nettles last night and inside the Parker.
And the 4th one was really scored on a ball that John Wathan lost in the lights. So conceivably they could have scored 3 runs in really 2.5 ball games. Similar to what we did last year against Pittsburgh. We went in the last with a 3-1 game lead and scored 2 runs in the last 3 ball games. It's just tough. We had 3 well-pitched games, but just weren't pitched well enough to win.
Well, you made a liar out of me. I predicted y'all going to win.
2 balls, no strikes on Randolph. 3. I'm not going to listen to your predictions anymore, Billy. You told us the Yankees in 4.
You know, I'm starting to believe that I'm not going to predict anymore.
It's tough. What makes this so interesting?
Well, I changed this now. It's 3 out of 5 now.
3 out of 5, all right.
Right.
That's right. First you had them in 3, and then you had them in 4, and now you have them in 5.
Well, you know, that's the way the day goes. You're allowed to switch.
Tomorrow you may have them in 7. Inside, ball 4 to Randolph. So Willie draws a second walk given up by Splittorff. Randolph aboard for the 2nd time in the game. And up comes Bucky Dent. Grounded out and grounded into a double play 0 for 2.
Yeah, I think we got to see Willie stealing the base or trying to steal the base. Anyway.
I would think so. I was just going to bring that point up right here. The Yankees with very little speed, only Brown and Randolph are really threats to go, but they got to get something cooking here.
Yeah, they got to create it. He's got to steal second base right now.
I'm not sure if he can. The dirt's a little bit wetter. And Splittorff has a fairly good move. He's deceptive.
0-1 the count.
Well, you know, you always tell the runner, if you're going to get picked off or get thrown out at first base. Take the chance, get a good lead, and go. I'd rather see him thrown out at first base than being thrown out at second base by 10 feet.
Randolph 30 steals during the regular season, caught 5 times. Hit in the air to center field. Amos Otis makes the catch, and the Yankees are done here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits. Leave 1 through 5. 1-0 Kansas City. Will return to New York after this word from our local station. Leading off for the Kansas City Royals in the top of the 6th inning, the designated hitter, Hal McRae. I talked to Hal earlier. All right, Hal, the final figure, 297 for the year. Overall, though, assess your performance for 1980.
Well, I got to be happy with it. I got off to a real slow start. I was hitting about 250 at the break. I went to 314. I hit a bad slump. I came on strong at the end, but I had to be happy with the year I had because I didn't know whether I could hit be a good hitter again because I had a bad shoulder operation and I couldn't get the balls that I had been hitting before. So I think I proved something to a lot of people, and I proved a lot to myself. And I think, you know, next year I'll be a 300 hitter again.
Hal McRae finishing just 3 points under that figure this year. Swings and misses. 0-1.
Very aggressive base runner. Good, hard, clean baseball player.
One ball, 1 strike to count.
Of course, when you're the manager and the other team and he knocks one of your second basemen out of there, you don't like that very much, Al.
In the playoffs a couple of years ago. Bouncer to short. Dent over to Watson. 1 away here in the 6th inning with nobody on. Kansas City leading it 1-0 on the home run by Frank White. And Tommy John to face Amos Otis. Amos Otis 3 for 10 in the playoffs. Going to the downs. 0-1. Willie Aikens, who has 2 hits tonight, on deck. 1 run, 6 hits for Kansas City. No runs, 4 hits for the Yankees.
And don't think that Tommy John isn't trying to make every pitch perfect. Puts a lot of pressure on a pitcher to be down 2 games in the playoffs and down a run in the 3rd ball game.
And I think they got the right guy out there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Tries to bunt his way on, and Cerrone makes the effort but has no play. Billy, let me ask you about the use of Gossage. The Yankees obviously would like the Goose to come in to protect a 1-run lead and pick up a save. But now you're down, you've got your backs to the wall. If Tommy John runs into trouble, do you go to the Goose in this situation?
I would think so, Al. I don't think they can wait any longer. I think they got to go out there and stop it right away. And Goose is capable of going 4 or 5 innings. You just hope that if he had to go that long, that they'd come back tomorrow and get a complete game if they won the ball game.
1-2 the count.
And I think that's really what puts them in such a precarious position. But they have to use Gossage tonight. Louis Tima, scheduled pitcher tomorrow, is not a guy that you think is going to pitch a complete game. So the Yankees really have a tough road.
Gossage hiding. There he is, second from the left, back row.
He's just strong enough where he could pitch 5 innings a day and come back and pitch 2 tomorrow and 2 the next day. He's that strong.
Call, strike 3. Amos didn't like the call. It also looked like he was not looking for that location by any stretch of the imagination. And Larry McCoy.
I think Larry told him it was a good pitch. That's about all an umpire can say. Until you say something. I think the ball looks high, but he hasn't been calling many low pitches, and if he's had a tendency to call any pitch, it's the ball up. You know, Amos might have thought it was high and inside.
I think he thought it was inside. That's I think his complaint was.
So 2 down with the bases empty, and Willie Aikens 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. 3 for 9 in the playoffs.
But Tommy tried to come inside on that one time, and he hit a rope out there. I don't think he'll be trying to come inside again. I think maybe he'll stay away from making him hit out that big part of the ballpark. At least that's what I would be suggesting if I had anything to say about it.
There's a look at the Yankee defensive alignment. Oh, and 1 as Willie goes down.
That's what you call leaving your shoes.
He asked me yesterday how far that foul ball he went, and I told him into the concession stand. He was happy.
Don't forget tomorrow. Tune in beginning at 12:30 Eastern time. Longhorns and the Sooners from Dallas. And then our playoff coverage definitely from Houston tomorrow afternoon and maybe tomorrow night from New York. 1-1 the count. Phillies and the Astros. Houston up 2-1 there at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And then the Royals and the Yankees. If the Yankees win tonight. Tiant and Gale. Third in there in the count, 1-2.
Really came and worked out with the Orioles when he was 17. He's hitting 430-foot balls to the opposite field. Very strong young man.
2-2 the count. John broke his rhythm there a little bit. Got the pitch over for a strike and came right back. Now ready again, and the 2-2 pitch is bounced to the right side. Randolph, great stab. Goes, pulls Watson off, and he can't make the tag. So Willie Randolph stopping it from going on through, but Aikens has his 3rd hit here.
Well, he makes a nice play. The thing I wonder is that it didn't look like Bob was really situated around the bag to go either way. And it looked like if he had shifted his feet, you'll probably see it right here, Now, if he's the other way on the other side of the bag, it's an easy play. Yep. He just kind of assumed the ball would be on one side of the bag and really wasn't ready for a throw on either side.
Absolutely correct, Jim. He positioned himself wrong and got caught in that old trap where you got your body crossed up there and he couldn't come back on the other side. You always got to look for that bad throw over there.
Darrell Porter walked and flied out, takes outside for a ball, 1 to go.
That's what you teach at second base at all the positions. Always look for a bad throw, because when you get the good one, you're not going to be surprised, but you will be surprised when you get that bad one.
It's away from Cerrone. Akins moving along to second. And the count will be 2-0 on Darrell Porter.
I think if a manager's really, excuse me, Billy, if a manager's really into stats, and Darrell, I think getting 5 out of 7 hits off Tommy John, do you think about maybe pitching to Hurdle in this situation?
Well, I would like to see that happen, because Porter's been swinging the bat well. Look, we have the trainer out there in the mound right this time. That's Gene Monahan. Oh, I guess the mud is clogging up his spikes and bringing out that little stick you guys carry out there. Usually, don't you have it behind the mound so you can reach, go get it? Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. I would, if you are going to pitch to him, pitch very careful. Tommy John can pitch around him. Just hope he swings at a bad ball, and if you walk him, you don't care.
2 balls, no strikes, the count. Darrell Porter at the plate, Akins at second base. 2 gone, 6th inning, 1-0 Kansas City. High in the air to left center field, and routine for Lou Piniella. Royals gone in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit. Leave 1. Yanks come up. Watson will lead off in the bottom of the 6th. It's 1-0 Royals. Well, we've got a scene reminiscent of what happened at Dodger Stadium over the weekend. The crowd trying to spur the Yankees on. So they finally get raucous here as the Yanks come up.
We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning here at Yankee Stadium. It'll be Eric Soderholm, Rick Cerrone, and Lou Piniella, all right-hand hitters, coming up against left-hander Paul Splittorff. And we'll see if the rain delay affected Splittorff at all, Phil.
Right, Frank. Of course, he'll get as much time as he needs to warm up. It's not like between innings where he gets just 8 pitches.
Splittorff had sort of a tough luck season health-wise. He had back spasms. In fact, they came on him right here at Yankee Stadium when the Royals were in earlier this year. He missed several turns. Told me before the ball game, though, that he has felt good over the last part of the season. Splittorff has beaten the Yankees twice in postseason play. In regular season games, he has a career mark of 11-11. So overall, he has won 13 and lost 11 times to the New York Yankees. And the mark might be on the first batter here. Soderholm has a good career record against Splittorff. Earlier this year, Soderholm took Splittorff to the bridge, as they say, had a long home run off of him.
Well, he just missed, Frank, prior to popping out in the 2nd inning. Remember that tremendous foul in the upper deck?
Right, way back in the upper deck. He got around well on him.
All right, Eric Soderholm.
Take a look at Splittorff up close in slow motion. That move has had him an excellent career with the Kansas City Royals.
And he pops one up to right field. Hurdle makes the catch. 1 man out. The outfield's going to be a little bit wet as we wait for Rick Cerrone to come up, and the rain is starting again, and starting heavy. The umbrellas come up. Rick struck out his first time up. Splittorff threw him a beautiful off-speed breaking pitch.
Well, we had excellent weather on Kansas City, and the Royals won 2 games. Maybe with the inclement weather here in New York, the Yankees can turn it around.
All right. 1 out, nobody on. No score, bottom of the 4th. Ball 1. Two or nothing. See the raindrops coming down on the Royals. Foul tip. It's 1-1, rather 2 balls and a strike. Split off with a good fastball tonight. Lou Piniella on deck. And pops it high in the air. Let's see if Porter's got room. No, runs out of room. Hits on the screen. Oh, there's that crazy hairdo man again. Haven't seen much of him lately.
I think he's been following the National League.
Oh.
I saw him on television the other night, the ball game down in Philadelphia. He gets around.
Yes, he does. Usually gets in for nothing, too. Pretty good gate crasher. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Well, that hair looks like it's alive, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And that time Rick almost waited long enough. That was a pitch he struck out on the first time up. Each team with 4 base hits. Neither team has made an error. Neither team has scored. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out, nobody on. Again out in front. Center field, and Amos Otis makes the catch. Ball hit right on the nose. Line drive to Amos. 2 men out. And now Lou Piniella, who walked his first time up. That's the only walk in the ball game given up by Splitoff. Tommy John has walked 1. Ball 1. Piniella 1 for 3 in the playoff series. 2 balls, no strikes. And timeout, something thrown out on the field.
Jim Fry, the rookie manager of the Kansas City Royals.
Foul back and out of play in the upper deck. 2 balls and a strike.
Fry is not getting on Piniella now as he did last time Lou's at bat.
I think Lou scared him a little bit. 3 balls and a strike. Splitoff wanted that one. Let's see, there's Dick Hauser. Well, 2 rookie managers in this playoff series, Fry and Hauser, and I guess Dallas Green had just a little bit of experience last year, Frank.
Yes.
Bounce foul. Right in the photographer's booth. 3-2.
Of course, Bill Burton, a veteran manager of the Houston Astros, 1-time Yankee manager, Tommy John, hoping that his teammates can get him at least 1 run to work with.
Foul back, out of play.
Don't you imagine Bill Burton is sort of rooting for the Yankees in this American League
yes.
Championship Series? Wouldn't he love to come back?
Absolutely.
There are Splitoff's figures, lifetime and regular season play against the Yankees.
Hard grounder and bobbled, but grabbed by Brett and throws him out. So Brett stayed with it. Hard ground ball, 3 up, 3 down, into 4. Royals nothing, Yankees nothing.
Well, the camera goes around the stands where the rain is still falling, not as hard as it was earlier in the ball game, and we're all set for the top half of the 5th inning. The KC Royals will have Clint Hurdle, Frank White, and Willie Wilson. That gentleman over there is very, very happy about something, probably his neighbor with a towel over his head. Who is that? That's John Schuerholz next to him, I believe, of the
And Lee McPhail walked before across the Yankee dugout with a towel. Well, we'll check. Here's Clint Hurdle, who hit into a double play his first time up. Ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. Two and one. Score top of the 5th, 0-0. Strike 2. Tommy keeps hitting that outside corner against the left-handers. He got him. First strikeout for Tommy John.
Here it is again. Tommy just keeps working that outside corner. Hurdle started to swing, laid off, and he is called out on strikes. From behind the plate, looked awfully good.
All right, Frank. And here is another Frank. Frank White, who lined hard to Rodriguez his first time up.
Five hits so far in the championship series for Frank White. Bob Watson and Willie Randolph also have 5.
Uh-oh, that's gone. It's a 1-0 ball game. Frank White has just hit one into the left field seats off Tommy John, and the Royals are out in front, 1-0. No doubt about that one, Frank.
No doubt about it, and Frank White, I think, has a leg up on most valuable player of this championship series. They will officially name an MVP for the first time since the inception of championship series play in the American League in 1969.
Right.
Frank White's 6th hit, and it's going to go all the way. It looked like it hung up there for him. White was looking for it and drills it well back into the left field seats. A 1-0 Kansas City lead.
All right, Willie Wilson bounced to short twice, takes the ball outside. Thrown out twice by Bucky Dent. One a great play by Bucky. See Rick wanting that ball down. Tommy's starting to get it high in the Kansas City bench. Hugging Frank White, and well, they should.
When Frank gets his pitch, he can hit it out. He hit 7 home runs during the regular season. You don't think of him as a home run hitter, but he will hurt you with the long ball on occasion, and he has just hurt the Yankees.
Lined up, base hit for Willie Wilson. And Reggie bobbles the ball, but Wilson holds. Gets it in quickly. And we're going to get action in the Yankee bullpen quickly.
Now we'll see how here it is again. That pitch away from him, and Wilson goes the opposite way with it. Line shot into right. We'll see how Wilson and Fry are going to play it now. Willie told me in the pregame show tonight that the reason he was not running, he was holding the first baseman at first base because UL Washington goes to the right side, and of course so does Brett. In the Yankee bullpen, the left-hander Tommy Underwood, the right-hander is Ron Davis.
All right, I almost think Willie Wilson's got to try and steal a base here. As Tommy John exchanges baseballs. 1 out, 1-0. The Royals leading, top of the 5th. Watson holding the bag against Wilson. Not a good move by Tommy. Swing and a miss. That time Wilson was moving back to first base as Tommy John delivered the pitch. Washington tried to hit it through that hole there.
Batting right-handed, Washington is a good opposite field hitter.
Willie back again. He was going to bunt, took it a little low, 1-1.
Pretty good figures right there.
Give Cerrone half a chance, he'll throw you out. You don't get that big jump on the pitchers. Outside, 2-1. Royal Washington looking for a sign. Hit and run.
During the regular season, Wilson was on his own unless he was given a red light, specifically told not to steal.
And a bouncer in front of the plate. Cerrone's going to have to hurry. Falls down. They got him. Great play by Cerrone as his right foot went out from under him, but he still made the play.
Wilson goes to second. I have to wonder if Watson was hurt on that play. Let's watch it again. Right off the end of the bat. From his knee, threw him out, and you see Watson was stepped on.
Yep.
UL Washington stepped on Bob Watson's left foot and spiked him on the foot.
He was way inside that baseline, too, to step on Watson's foot. Plus, Bob just had the corner of the bag. But it looks like he's all right. Tying it up.
Well, Watson played nearly all year with a broken finger on his left hand. So a spike wound isn't going to take him out.
No way.
One thing that's going to take Watson out is the raindrops on the glasses.
Yep. He's going to dry him off again.
There it is again. You can see him right down on the left foot.
Gene Monahan, the Yankee trainer, hands Watson his glove. 2 men are out. And George Brett will be the batter. Wilson at second base. Royals leading 1-0. Strike one. Big man for the Yankees to get out here. Get out of this inning with just 1 run. 1-1.
Now that rain is coming down even harder now. Not as hard as it was when time was called, but harder than it was just a few minutes ago.
Grounded to Bucky Dent. And Bucky throws him out. But the Royals do pick up a run on 2 hits. The homer by White, they leave a man. And at the end of 4 1/2, Royals 1, Yankees 0.
A lot.
Bobby Brown and Willie Randolph to follow. Rodriguez with a base hit in the second inning. Bounces it foul. 0-1. We certainly talk about George enough. He gets enough publicity. Talk about Ewing Kaufman, owner of the Kansas City Royals. Man who's built a pretty good ball club there. And just 1 game away, or half a game right now, from their first ever pennant.
I bet he's really happy.
Pop foul out of play.
Well, it's interesting as far as the way they built their ball clubs, the philosophies. I think on 25 men playing here tonight for the Royals, 15 have come through their farm system. And the Yankees of the 25, 2. And that's Bobby Mercer, who, of course, was here very early, 65, and came back, and, of course, Ron Guidry.
Of course, you got to give George Steinbrenner credit for the fact that the Yankee farm clubs now are very strong where they weren't before. He spent the money down there in the farm clubs, and I think you will be seeing a lot of players coming out of the Yankee Farm Club.
2-2. If I'm not mistaken, the Yankee farm system, all the clubs except one won a pennant this year and last year.
They've been really coming along the last 2-3 years since he's put that. He puts down a manager down here, a pitching coach, a hitting coach. He's really going all out.
Well, I talked to Joe Altobelli, who managed the Columbus Club, had a fantastic year, and he had John Kennedy, who we played against in the 1966 World Series for the Dodgers, and he had Sammy Alcs, who used to pitch for the Cincinnati Reds.
3-2 pitch is popped up, shallow right field. Frank White, man of the hour right now, makes the catch. One guy.
Al, that's the direction our organization is going to in the future. We're going to go and build up our farm club and bring the players up through our system.
What about free agents? Will you go after any of those?
We might take a little shot at them this first year here and maybe a little bit next year, but we're not going to do anything to hurt our organization. We'd like getting those players who want no trade, no cut contracts.
You don't think George is going to get any free agents if they lose tonight, do you?
1-0 the count on Bobby Brown.
I think he'll be looking for some speedy outfielders next year, and I wouldn't be too surprised if he made a strong bid for that young man over there in San Diego.
He's got the Bucks to sign him, too. Dave Winfield we're talking about. 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air to left center field. And Willie Wilson makes the catch. 2 down. 2 out in the 5th inning with the bases empty. And Willie Randolph, the batter. Grounded out and singled. 2 out, bases empty. The Yankees have scored only 4 runs in this series. 3 of them have been on home runs with the bases empty. Pinella, Cerrone, and Nettles last night and inside the Parker.
And the 4th run was really scored on a ball that John Wathan lost in the light. So conceivably they could have scored 3 runs in really 2.5 ball games. Similar to what we did last year against Pittsburgh. We went in the last with a 3-1 game lead and scored 2 runs in the last 3 ball games. It's just tough. We had 3 well-pitched games, but just weren't pitched well enough to win.
Well, you made a liar out of me. I predicted y'all going to win.
2 balls, no strikes on Randolph. 3. I'm not going to listen to your predictions anymore, buddy. You told us the Yankees in 4.
You know, I'm starting to believe that I'm not going to predict anymore.
Stuff. What makes this so interesting?
Well, I changed this now. It's 3 out of 5 now.
3 out of 5, all right.
Right.
That's right. First you had them in 3, and then you had them in 4, and now you have them in 5.
Well, you know, that's the way the day goes. You're allowed to switch.
Tomorrow you may have in 7. Inside, ball 4 to Randolph. So Willie draws a second walk given up by Splittorff. Randolph aboard for the 2nd time in the game. And up comes Bucky Dent. Grounded out and grounded into a double play 0 for 2.
Yeah, I think we got to see Willie stealing the base or trying to steal the base. Anyway.
I would think so. I was just going to bring that point up right here. The Yankees, with very little speed, only Brown and Randolph are really threats to go, but they've got to get something cooking here.
Yeah, they got to create it. He's got to steal second base right now.
I'm not sure if he can. The dirt's a little bit wetter. And Splittorff has a fairly good move. He's deceptive.
0-1 the count.
Well, you know, you always tell the runner if you're going to get picked off or get thrown out at first base. Take the chance, get a good lead, and go. I'd rather see him thrown out at first base than being thrown out at second base by 10 feet.
Randolph, 30 steals during the regular season, caught 5 times. Hit in the air to center field. Amos Otis makes the catch, and the Yankees are done here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits. Leave 1 through 5. 1-0 Kansas City. Will return to New York after this word from our local station. Leading off for the Kansas City Royals in the top of the 6th inning, the designated hitter, Hal McRae. I talked to Hal earlier. All right, Hal, the final figure, 297 for the year. Overall, though, assess your performance for 1980.
Well, I got to be happy with it. I got off to a real slow start. I was hitting about 250 at the break. I went to 314. I hit a bad slump. I came on strong at the end, but I had to be happy with the year I had because I didn't know whether I could be a good hitter again because I had a bad shoulder operation and I couldn't get the balls that I had been hitting before. So I think I proved something to a lot of people, and I proved a lot to myself. And I think, you know, next year I'll be a 300 hitter again.
Al McRae finishing just 3 points under that figure this year. Swings and misses. 0-1.
Very aggressive base runner. Good, hard, clean baseball player.
One ball, one strike to count.
Of course, when you're the manager and the other team and he knocks one of your second basemen out of there, you don't like that very much, Al.
In the playoffs a couple of years ago. Bouncer to short. Dent over to Watson. One away here in the 6th inning with nobody on. Kansas City leading it 1-0 on the home run by Frank White. And Tommy John to face Amos Otis.
The center fielder, Amos Otis.
Amos Otis 3 for 10 in the playoffs. Going to the downs. 0-1. Willie Aikens, who has 2 hits tonight, on deck. 1 run, 6 hits for Kansas City. No runs, 4 hits for the Yankees.
Don't think that Tommy John isn't trying to make every pitch perfect. Puts a lot of pressure on a pitcher to be down 2 games in the playoffs and down a run in the 3rd ball game.
And I think they got the right guy out there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Tries to bunt his way on, and Cerrone makes the effort but has no play. Billy, let me ask you about the use of Gossage. The Yankees obviously would like the Goose to come in to protect a 1-run lead and pick up the save, but now you're down, you've got your backs to the wall. If Tommy John runs into trouble, do you go to the Goose in this situation?
I would think so, Al. I don't think they can wait any longer. I think they got to go out there and stop it right away. And Goose is capable of going 4 or 5 innings. You just hope that if he had to go that long, that they'd come back tomorrow and get a complete game if they won the ball game.
1-2 the count.
I think that's really what puts them in such a precarious position. If they have to use Gossage tonight, Louis Tiva, scheduled pitcher tomorrow, is not a guy that you think is going to pitch a complete game. So the Yankees really have a tough road.
Gossage hiding. There he is, second from the left, back row.
He's just strong enough where he could pitch 5 innings a day and come back and pitch 2 tomorrow and 2 the next day. He's that strong.
Oh, strike 3. Amos didn't like the call. It also looked like he was not looking for that location by any stretch of the imagination. And Larry McCoy.
I think Larry told him it was a good pitch. That's about all an umpire can say. Until you say something. I think the ball looks high, but he hasn't been calling many low pitches, and if he's had a tendency to call any pitch, it's the ball up. You know, Amos might have thought it was high and inside.
I think he thought it was inside. That's I think his complaint was.
So 2 down with the bases empty, and Willie Aikens 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. 3 for 9 in the playoffs.
Tommy tried to come inside on that one time and he hit a rope out there. I don't think he'll be trying to come inside again. I think maybe he'll stay away from making him hit out that big part of the ballpark. At least that's what I would be suggesting if I had anything to say about it.
There's a look at the Yankee defensive alignment. Willie goes down.
That's what you call leaving your shoes.
He asked me yesterday how far that foul ball he went, and I told him into the concession stand. He was happy.
Don't forget tomorrow. Tune in beginning at 12:30 Eastern Time. Longhorns and the Sooners from Dallas. And then our playoff coverage definitely from Houston tomorrow afternoon and maybe tomorrow night from New York. 1-1 the count. Phillies and the Astros. Houston up 2-1 there at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And then the Royals and the Yankees. If the Yankees win tonight. Tiant and Gale. Irvin there in the count, 1-2.
Really came and worked out with the Orioles when he was 17. He's hitting 430-foot balls to the opposite field. Very strong young man.
2-2 the count. John broke his rhythm there a little bit. Got the pitch over for a strike and came right back. Now Ribby again, and the 2-2 pitch is bounced to the right side. Randolph, great stand. Goes, pulls Watson off, and he can't make the tag. So Willie Randolph stopping it from going on through, but Akins has his third hit here.
Well, he makes a nice play. The thing I wonder is that it didn't look like Bob was really situated around the bag to go either way. And it looked like if he had shifted his feet, you'll probably see it right here. Now, if he's the other way on the other side of the bag, it's an easy play. Yep. He just kind of assumed the ball would be on one side of the bag and really wasn't ready for a throw on either side.
Absolutely correct, Jim. He positioned himself wrong and got caught in that old trap where you got your body crossed up there, and he couldn't come back on the other side. You always got to look for that bad throw over there.
Darrell Porter walked and flied out, takes outside for a ball, 1-0.
That's what you teach at second base at all the positions. Always look for a bad throw, because when you get the good one, you're not going to be surprised. But you will be surprised when you get that bad one.
It's away from Cerrone. Akins moving along to second. And the count will be 2-0 on Darrell Porter.
I think if a manager's really, excuse me, Billy, if a manager's really into stats, and Darrell, I think getting 5 out of 7 hits off Tommy John, do you think about maybe pitching to Hurdle in this situation?
Well, I would like to see that happen, because Porter's been swinging the bat well. Look, we have the trainer out there in the mound right this time. That's Gene Monahan. Oh, I guess the mud is clogging up his spikes, and he's bringing out that little stick you guys carry out there. Usually, don't you have it behind the mound so you can reach, go get it? Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. I would, if you are going to pitch to him, pitch very careful. Tommy John can pitch around him. Just hope he swings at a bad ball, and if you walk him, you don't care.
2 balls, no strikes to count. Darrell Porter at the plate, Akins at second base. 2 gone, 6th inning, 1-0 Kansas City. Center field and routine for Lou Piniella. Royals gone in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit. Leave 1. Yanks come up. Watson will lead off in the bottom of the 6th. It's 1-0 Royals. Well, we've got a scene reminiscent of what happened at Dodger Stadium over the weekend. The crowd trying to spur the Yankees on. So they finally get raucous here as the Yanks come up in the bottom.
And it looks like Spordark still has his good stuff, making good pitches. You don't really hear him because you really have a kind of like a tunnel between you and the catcher.
2-1. And then again, Steve Carlton went to cotton in his ears, though.
Well, I think everybody has a different degree of acuteness of concentration.
2-2.
Didn't seem to bother him there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Came back with a curveball. Excellent pitch.
Some guys get too excited and overswing.
The 2-2 pitch to Watson. Line drive. Great catch by White. Frank White timing his jump perfectly and takes a base hit away from Watson, who is bidding for his 3rd hit of the game.
Just a wonderful play. Super play.
High fastball out over the plate. Really kind of gets in on him, I guess, and he just fights it off, and he hits it awfully good because he is a strong guy, and White going as high as he can go.
I don't think he can get up there much higher.
The crowd chanting Reggie, Reggie. 0 for 2, struck out twice. 0-1. There he is, Frank White. Home run tonight. That's the difference in the game. 6 hits in the series. Started the double play last night that ended the game. series began, Frank was a little distressed about hitting in the number 9 spot, but he certainly made the most of that, and as usual, performed flawlessly on defense.
Probably if you had to make a choice right now to who the best player out there during the series, you'd have to go with Frank.
Reggie Jackson 2 for 10 in the playoffs. 0-2 pitch, fouled away.
Well, I don't really think, I think it's a little bit early to panic. A 1-0 lead is not that a substantial lead here in Yankee Stadium.
Jackson backing away. The Yankees with really only one threat, second inning, a 2-on, 2-out. Brown grounded out, that's been it. Line drive, fair ball, into the corner. Willie Wilson out onto the track to run it down, and Reggie has it double. Well, Reggie Jackson telling Bob Uecker during the rain delay, you need one guy to ignite the team, and he's going to provide the spark.
There again, Al, he went with the pitch instead of trying to pull it and went right down the line with it. That's just tremendous, really. It's good hitting.
Well, that's what he said he was going to do. He just wasn't going to try to pull the ball because Reggie's really not a pull hitter. He has the capabilities of hitting the ball out at any part of the park.
Jim Fry is going to go to the mound. Now, the Royals have activity in their bullpen.
Looks like Quisenberry.
It is Quisenberry and also Rennie Martin. And they're going to make the switch right here. With Sonderholm, Cerrone, Piniella, and Rodriguez all due to follow, Jim Fry makes the switch.
That's surprising to me. I don't know. I'm not going to comment too much. I don't like to second guess the other managers, but that is a surprise to me.
I think it goes along what we said about Splittorf, though. Jimmy Fry got 5 excellent innings out of him, and it's a little early for Quisenberry. The only thing I really kind of second guess is that you can make a lineup change. You can put in all your left-handed hitters, and if the Royals have to go to another pitcher, they have to go with a rookie, somebody that's inexperienced. You're really bringing your best in awfully early. It could really hurt him for tomorrow. If they don't win today and he ends up pitching 3 1/3 innings, it really could have quite a big effect on this playoff.
How about a tie? What if you get a tie, then he pitches another couple more innings? Then you lost him maybe for a couple of days.
Brett, Fry, and Porter all standing on the mound as Dan Quisenberry comes on here in the 6th inning. Of course, the first out of the inning was a solid shot off the bat of Watson, caught by White, then the double. And here comes Quisenberry. We saw him last night, picked up the save, induced Nettles to hit into the double play.
Now that's the decision the manager has to make, and he's the only one in the ballpark going to get the blame or the credit for it.
Of course, Quisenberry, just like Kent Tekulve, same sort of motion. And as a matter of fact, the two of them have talked at considerable length with each other. We saw Tekulve there, and here's Quisenberry in action here, almost looking like an instant replay. I talked to Dan before the playoffs.
Success this year. I would have to point my finger to a guy named Kent Tekulve. He basically showed me some things that made me, I think, from a decent to good pitcher to the Fireman of the Year, and that was making my motion, becoming from a sidearm pitcher to a submarine pitcher, and that made me hide the ball better, and I kept the ball down. I threw more lower sinkers, where last year I had a tendency to get them up, and I gave up a few long balls. When and where did you get the benefit of Tekulve's knowledge? It started at a banquet in January last year that Tekulve and Tanner were in, and then Jim Fry set up an appointment in spring training, and Kent and I met 2 different times in spring training, and then he called me during the season, and when he saw me on TV, and did some more adjustments.
Dan Quisenberry, during that interview, I asked him if Kent had called him during the season, because Tekulve had some troubles down the stretch.
As Quisenberry was on his way to 33 saves, and Oscar Gamble is there to come up to pinch hit for Soderholm. So Fry simply making the move here in the middle innings, even with the right-handed batters due up. He knows full well that the Yankees are going to counter. That's the case with Gamble here batting for Soderholm. Jackson, the tying run at second. One away in the bottom of the sixth inning. 1-0 Royals. So the crowd having come to life in the sixth inning. Watson began the inning by lining out as we look down from our blip. Yankee Stadium. Packed. Temperature near 50 degrees right now. It has completely stopped raining.
Wonderful game of baseball. 60,000 people cheering. Keep your concentration up there. You play golf, one person kicks a camera, and trouble starts.
It's amazing, isn't it? You're right.
And that ball's laying there still, and this pitch is coming 90, 95 miles an hour at you.
Quisenberry, he's being asked to move the rosin bag back of the mat. Earlier, Reggie wanted the second base umpire, Kaiser, out of the way.
You'd have to get him all the way off the field to get him out of the way.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
One of the larger umpires in the league. But a good one.
Yeah, he is that.
He's bigger than me. I have to say something nice about him.
You guys are just thinking about next year. Come on. There's Kaiser.
The Incredible Hulk. Or the Incredible Bulk, whichever way you want to look at it.
Gamble hits it foul on the count 0-1.
Fred Stanley of the Yankees does a great imitation of him. He puts about 12, 15 towels under his shirt and walks around just like him, I swear. It's really something to see.
Has Kaiser seen it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Stanley's down there on him now.
0-1 the count on Gamble. One out, Jackson at second. Bottom of the sixth inning, 1-0 Royals. Swing foul. Oscar trying to check.
Well, there's that off-speed fastball. He just doesn't throw all his fastballs the same speed. He's really he's tough pitcher, not only for right-handers, but really for left-handed hitters also. But we do have the left-handed hitters in there now, Billy. I mean, the ones that you think that are probably the best offensive team that the Yankees have.
I do. I believe that. Look, Oscar's changed his stance a little bit. I guess because of that sinker ball, he's trying to lean over the plate a little bit more. You notice he's bending over more, Jim, or is it just me looking from up here?
No, that's the kind of stance he used all year. He's probably more over the plate than any hitter in the American League.
0-2 pitch. 1-2 now.
I've seen him from both sides, but this is the first time I've ever seen him from up here. It does look different.
Quisenberry's 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the middle, backhanded by White to at least save a run, but then he throws the ball away. Jackson coming home, and he scores as the ball winds up in the dugout. So the Yankees tie the game.
Oscar's got to go to third base.
Oscar Gamble's White.
Oscar's got to go to third base because the ball went in the dugout after he was at second base.
That's right. They're giving him third right now. Here it is as White makes a brilliant stop and then throws it away.
Well, the intentions are good. A lot of runners will round third base, take a couple extra steps. If you don't have a play at first, a good second baseman will make a throw to third, hoping the runner will be off the base and be tagged out. But it was an off-balance throw.
In all fairness to Frank White out there, that ball hit the edge of that carpet out there and took a weird bounce.
It did. An erratic hop. But still, does that have anything to do with the throw that he makes, Billy?
No, it does not, Al. He was trying to get Reggie when he rounded third base, which is a real heads-up play, a smart play by a second baseman. And it just didn't work out. He threw off balance and made the wild throw.
That's a base hit for Gamble and an error charge to White. No RBI. Jackson scoring. We're tied 1-1. Cerrone the batter. Runner is third. One away. 1-0. Take a shot here at the Royals infield with the shortstop Washington. There he is, second baseman Frank White. They're in an either way situation right now. One and one to count.
Of course, you know what he's trying to do out there now, Al. He's trying to keep the ball down so make him hit the ball in the infield. Too many times you get this situation and the pitcher will get the ball up, not on purpose, but he'll drive that ball and score that run with a sacrifice fly.
What about playing your infield the way the Royals are right now, Billy?
Well, I think that's smart. That's the right way to do it. Sometimes it depends on the runner. If the runner's a little slower, you can play him back a little deeper.
Cerrone at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Base hit. The New York Yankees take a 2-1 lead.
Instead of the ball being, look, it's right up in the middle of the plate. Cerrone drove in 85 runs. I don't think he would have had a chance to catch it if he was back either. Clutch hit. He's been doing it all year.
Maybe you're right, Jim.
2-1 New York, bottom of the 6th. 1 out, Lou Piniella. Walked and grounded out. Piniella. White backhanding to first. Got him. Frank White. He's been everywhere.
Great play. Just a sensational play. One of the best plays I think we've seen in this series.
Here's a sinker. Lou just chops it. This is why White wins the Golden Glove most years. Lou doesn't run that well, but makes an excellent play.
Greg Nettles, the reason for the reaction right now. Here he comes to bat for Rodriguez. So the man who was felled by hepatitis in July, it looked like he wouldn't be back this season at one point, and came back and played in regular season games last Saturday and Sunday. Last night inside the park home run in Kansas City. Coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, you have first base open, Billy. Are you going to put him on?
Well, I believe I would, Jim. I don't think I let that hit one off me.
This really points up what Jim Palmer talked about before. You bring in your top reliever now. Quisenberry's in there. They're trailing. What happens if it winds up 2-1 and Quiz goes 3 1/3? Won last night. Gale going tomorrow. If. We'll see.
Well, just off the top of my head, I'd get him out of there next inning while they're behind.
You would?
Yes.
Don't you think it puts a lot of pressure on you then? What do you tell the writers after the game?
Well, I shouldn't have brought him in the first time.
Well, that's why you're honest.
Well, no, really. What do you got the game? You're behind now.
Cerrone at second, 2 down. 1-0 pitch. 1-1. Remember, outside of Quisenberry, that bullpen is shaky at best. Just spectating right now out there.
I'd have to think that he'll go with Quisenberry unless they get a base hit here. And he's the best they have. And
bouncing ball, great stop by Aikens. Flips the Quiz covering for the out. And that's that for the Yankees in the 6th inning. But they come from behind, picking up 2 runs, 3 hits. The big error by White, leave 1. We go to the 7th at New York. Yankees 2, Royals 1. another look now at the ground ball hit by Nettles, and a fine play turned in by Akins at first base.
Well, that's a sure double. Willie's not known for his fielding. I think he was a little bit sluggish early in the year coming off a knee operation, but seems to be moving a lot better.
Well, that play right there would never be made in Kansas City, no matter who the first baseman is.
Exactly. What an inning that was in terms of defense. You had Watson lining out. White makes a great play. Then after the double by Jackson, Sider home, the ground ball, the great play by White initially. There's the goose, Rich Gossage in the bullpen. Then White throws the ball away. Then you got White turned in a sensational play from near shortstop, cutting over across the bag, and Akins gets the final out.
That's two tough plays for a second baseman in the same inning. Now that's really something. And I tell you, I just admire that man out there. He's a great ball player.
John Wathen will pinch hit for Clint Hurdle as we go to the 7th inning. They started Hurdle, and Hurdle hit into a double play and struck out. So Jim Fry saw that act twice and brings Wathen in, the right-handed batter. I want to know, as we said before the game, they started Hurdle because as we look at the family of Tommy John, wife Sally and the kids, grounded to short. Dent throwing out Wathen. And to complete the thought, Hurdle was in there because of his bat, really, even though it was lefty against lefty, as Jim Palmer explained before, in the case of Hurdle. But they go to Wathen here in the 7th inning.
Maybe his bat went to sleep on him. I believe it. I believe what we said earlier, Al. They took him out of there because they wanted Hurdle out there for the defense.
And here we have Frank White been up twice, hit the ball hard twice. Tommy has made 2 bad pitches to him. I think you'll see really Cerrone moving out, low and away, and Tommy's going to make some good pitches. He knows that Gossage is out there. Saved 8 of his games this year. It's not a bad guy to have out there behind you.
Came around, and Frank, and the count is 0-1. Rich Gossage.
Well, the defense in the outfield has shifted over like they're going to be playing him out there, so I'm sure they're going to be pitching him the same way to go to right field.
Same thing again. Frank got pulled twice, and it's 0-2.
Well, he went with the breaking ball twice. I think if from the center field camera, when you see Cerrone sit in the middle of the plate, it's probably going to be a breaking ball. Otherwise, he's going to either be inside or outside.
0-2 the count. Sitting in the middle. And bounced foul. 0-2 the count. You tuned in late. The Yankees and the Royals, we had a rain delay earlier of about 32 minutes duration. It was scoreless until the 5th inning. Frank White hit a home run to make it 1-0 Kansas City, but the Yankees came up with 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Reggie Jackson getting things started with a double. Rick Cerrone driving in the tie-breaking run with a single. 2-1, we're in the 7th inning as White fouls away another one.
You know, Al, a lot of catchers will give away the pitchers. They'll move around back there, and if you watch it close enough, some will jump up on the fastball when they're getting out of their crotch, and some of them will come up slow. And usually when they come up slow, it's a breaking ball. So sometimes you can watch those catchers and they'll be telling you what's coming.
Can the hitter watch the catchers, though?
No, we do it on the bench sometimes. Use the whistle to let the hitter know that the fastball's coming.
1-2. Misses Frank White. Lattice.
I think a hitter gets to watch the catcher just about once, Billy. That's when you throw the next one up and in. We don't like, pitchers and catchers don't like hitters turning around and seeing where the catcher's moving for location.
That's for sure. When I was on second base, whenever I got down there, I used to give signs to the hitters by crossing over. When I cross over my legs, that means it was a breaking ball. When I walk straight off, it was a fastball.
Foul away.
Mickey Mantle's eyes used to get as big as an apple because he just loved to know when the pitch was coming.
And they try to tell us football's so complicated, and this game is simple, huh?
Oh, there's so many things going on out there. It's just a shame the public isn't knowledgeable about it.
That's why we're here.
Well, we're trying.
Well, that's why we're supposed to be.
We're trying. Right.
Whatever way you want to look at it.
There's a 1-2 pitch. Foul away.
He's hanging in there.
One out, nobody on. We're in the 7th inning. Yankees leading 2-1. 1-2 pitch is outside and the count 2-2.
I think this will be Tommy John's last inning. There's no doubt in my mind, with a bad back, a little struggling with both control of the curveball and the sinker. They're going to go to Gossage. You got to win or lose with him.
White keeps fouling it away. Goose still going. Tommy John has thrown 88 pitches to this point.
That's not a lot of pitches for him. Fergie Jenkins pitched one game for me through 72. 9-inning ball game.
Struck him out.
Very nice pitch. For the first time this evening, he got the ball down. And you'll just see he's been accused of cheating on occasion, and you'll see this ball just kind of go underneath his bat. Kind of sunk very nicely.
I think Tommy John just gave a little, shoved his ball in his glove a little bit to the third base coach, making him feel like he's got something in there.
Well, I was in the locker room and he tore his sweater and he said, "Oh, I got my razor blade out too early."
2 out, nobody on. Willie Wilson at the plate. 1-0 the count.
I mean, he's been accusing of scuffing it, cutting it, biting it.
Down the line toward the right field corner and curling and staying fair. Reggie Jackson with Wilson, who can fly, stopping at second.
I believe we will see Gossage at this point.
Well, UL Washington coming up. He's a switch hitter. So if he makes the move, does Hauser, it won't be because of percentages.
Not a ball that's actually driven, just a fly ball that ends up landing fair down the right field line. Dick Hauser's heading towards the mound. I think Wilson definitely has a triple on this ball, except with 2 outs, doesn't want to get thrown out at third base. Can score from second easily on a single.
Dick Hauser. And you're right, Billy. Exactly what he's doing. He's going to the goose. So Rich Gossage coming into pitch here in the 7th inning with a tying run at second base. The numbers for Rich: 33 saves, 6 victories. So the big man coming out of the Yankee pen in relief of Tommy John. Yankees on top, 2-1 in the 7th inning.
When you're the manager sitting on the other side over there, Al, this is a sight you don't like to see.
No, and when you're coming up to bat, I don't imagine it's very pleasant either.
No, you don't mind it so bad up there at the plate, but because you know he's going to be too hard to hit anyway. But as a manager, you're down 1 run. You're saying, why does this have to happen now? Why couldn't we be ahead 1 run? Then I wouldn't mind him coming in.
Well, Fry went to Quisenberry, and the Yankees came up with a couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now Hauser bringing in the goose. Rich Gossage getting chauffeured in and heading to the mound. Crowd responding with goose, goose. Rich Gossage coming on in relief. I had a chance to visit with the Yankee right-hander in Kansas City yesterday. And before we get to that, listen to the ovation for Tommy John, who responds in kind.
Well, he did a super job. He kept his club in the game until they got a couple of runs to go ahead.
So Tommy John, still his game to win. Gossage trying to pick up the save, something he did 33 times during the regular season. Here's that visit we had yesterday.
Better this year than in prior years?
No, not really. I think that Dick Hauser handled me very well. He just brought me into situations. He never brought me into very few. He brought me into very few tie ball games. He always wanted me to come into ball games that we were up in the 8th or 9th innings. He always kept me, below 3 innings if possible, and never over 3. I think I went 5 innings here in Kansas City one night, and that was the furthest. That was the longest stint that I've had all season.
That's an interesting point, because in the playoffs, there's a tendency to go to your bullpen sooner than you might in the regular season. How long do you feel you could pitch in any given game and still be effective?
Well, I find it very difficult for myself to come back after 3 innings of work. If I can stay under 3 innings, 1, 2 innings, I feel that I can come back, maybe 4 or 5 times in a row. And anytime that I go over 3, I find it very difficult for myself to come back.
Rich Gossage making his first appearance in this series. He'll face UL Washington. Gossage, 103 strikeouts in 99 innings during the regular season.
And the defense has kind of changed. They play him to hit the ball to left field. They come in, they're a little bit shallower than they were probably before. I think there's a tendency here, Billy. The most important thing is if he does happen to get a base hit, is the most important thing is to keep him off second base.
I think, Jim, what they're going to do is shift the infield over, looks like they have, and the outfield. And I believe he's going to be swinging a little late, and you've got to count on that. But this guy at second base, no matter where he hits the ball, if it's a base hit, it's going to be awful tough to be thrown out.
Runner at second is Wilson. Goose is loose immediately. First pitch, 97 miles an hour. 1-1. Again, 97 miles an hour on that pitch.
That's sudden.
Well, we have a gun in Baltimore that's probably 3 or 4 miles slower, and he was throwing 96 in probably the most crucial game of the year. We had beaten them 4 straight times, and he came back and just Tommy John game again, 4-3 win. And I think the hitters are going to probably have a little bit more difficult time reacting. They see a guy like Tommy John somewhere in the mid-80s, and this guy's throwing close to 100 miles per hour.
2-1 the count. Wilson, who can fly at second.
But he doesn't fool you. You kind of know what's coming. Of course, he does have an excellent slider. I don't know if his slider's that good or it's just that his fastball is so good that the slider seems better than it really is.
He has a good slider. But in this situation, you wouldn't want to go with his second best pitch. And right now, I don't think he's trying to pitch any certain way. He's just going to bring the ball and just get over the plate like you mentioned the other day.
Well, he's 3-1 on UL Washington, and I don't think he wants to really pitch around this guy to get to the next hitter, George Brett.
Wilson at second. 2-1 Yankees, 7th inning. 3-2. This is Gossage.
He seems a little bit interested.
Good baseball player.
Pitch. Schopper toward the middle. Randolph will have to hurry to throw. Doesn't get him. Runners at first and third. So UL Washington with good speed. And the 2 men up front and Brett, who's number 3, can all move and beat out hits of that sort. So runners at first and third, and now he has to face Brett.
And again, it's just a 3-2. It just throws a strike. And this is where the team speed comes through for Kansas City. Willie gets rid of the ball as quick as he can, and UL Washington can really run. Another close play, though.
Bill's had some tough ones down there, has he tonight?
George Brett, hitless tonight. 2 for 10 in the playoffs, and both of those hits came in game 1. A double that Jackson played very tentatively, and then the home run to left center on Wednesday afternoon. All the way back, and that one is gone. And the Royals have taken the lead 4-2. So the Goose coming in a spot tailor-made for him, and all of a sudden Kansas City is back up on top 4-2. And several of the Royals out of the dugout to greet him. This is Gossage looking on in disbelief, as are most of the more than 54,000 fans here tonight. So George Brett has stilled the crowd, and Hal McRae takes outside ball 1. 1-1 the count. See it again now.
And here's the fastball in the middle of the plate. I doubt if he threw that ball 97 miles per hour.
Whatever it was, George was sitting on it.
I think it went in the third deck.
It did.
Towering drive.
98? Well, I said it wasn't 97. It was 98. That's probably why it went so far.
Breaking pitch missing. The count 2-2. Cerrone thought he had him. There he is. Brett, second home run in this series, 6th home run he's hit in the playoffs lifetime. Remember, he had 3 here a couple of years ago in 1 game, and the Royals lost that game.
Thurman Munson home run.
2 out, bases empty. Foul away. Incredible. Brett's hit 5 of those 6 home runs in Yankee Stadium.
Well, you asked the question earlier, Al, what a layoff would do to a guy like Gossage. I don't think it's going to make him throw any less harder, but what it's going to do is straighten out his fastball. He might not have as much movement on it as he ordinarily would.
Goose hasn't pitched since last Saturday. Saw it off the bat, and it's grounded to Nettles. Tough play for Gray. Can't make it. Scooped out by Watson to save perhaps the extra base, though. But McRae is on.
I believe Greg slipped out there in that grass.
It's still moist. Watch again now.
He just comes in on a jam shot. He got the ball in on McRae, and I'm sure the wetness of the grass slowed the ball down, and McRae, as you said earlier, has pretty good speed. Another close play. I think Watson had to come off the ball, trying to keep the ball in front of him.
That's a hit, and the 11th hit for Kansas City overall. Amos Otis is 0 for 3. Foul away. Upstairs. 0-1. What more can be said about that man? Wound up hitting .390 this year. Late swing, 0-2.
There again, Al, is that momentum we was talking about holding that next half inning. Yankees score 2, and Royals come back with 3.
And 3 off the ace. 0-2 pitch. They send McRae. The pitch misses inside, and the throw down there nails him. Bucky Dent applies the tag. And the Royals are done here in the top of the 7th inning. But George Brett hits a 3-run homer off Gossage, and through 6.5 in New York. Kansas City 4, and the Yankees 2.
It looks like a small, handsome, leather-bound book, but open it up. It's the world's
Stadium in New York. Al Michaels, Billy Martin. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Game number needing just 1 victory to wrap it up. The Yankees, as they come to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning, down by a couple, with Bobby Brown, Willie Randolph, and Bucky Dent coming up.
Well, they got the work cut out from them, haven't they?
Sure do, but they won the majority of their games coming down the stretch, coming from behind.
All good ball clubs, I believe, are tough from that 7th inning on.
We'll find out about the Yanks with Brown. 0 for 2. Grounded out. Flied out. So now Dan Quisenberry, the ace of the bullpen, tries to protect the 2-run cushion. Got the point. 0-1. Fouled away.
And that's one thing Bobby should do a lot more of. With his speed, both right and left-handed, he should bunt the ball a lot more. He does. He goes up there, swings away, And I think he can raise his average 20, 30 points.
Well, that'd make him a 280, 290 hitter. But I think that's just one of the things you find with kids that come up to the major leagues. You know, he's only been up there maybe 2 years. Kind of
popped up in foul ground and playable for Brett. He has room, makes the catch, and Brown is done. 1 out in the 7th inning, and Willie Randolph will be the hitter.
The second baseman, Willie Randolph.
Randolph has grounded out, singled, drawn a walk. Quisenberry has watched her man come really out of nowhere. Nobody expected the type of year that Dan had. Two and one the count. Kansas City Royals trying to end the enormous frustration. The divisional titles in 76, 77, 78, only to go down to New York. And now on the verge. 2-1 pitch is bounced to Brett at third. George takes care of that one for the out. Randolph gone. 2 down, and Bucky Dent will be the batter.
The shortstop, Bucky Dent.
World Series will begin next Tuesday, and it will begin in the National League city, either Philadelphia or Houston. Go to the American for games 3, 4, and 5. 0-1 the count.
I think right now the Yankees have to try to get a base runner. I mean, the minute you get a guy on, you got a possible tie ball game if somebody hits one.
And that's why I was talking about Barry Brown. If we would practice on his bunting, just try to get on the base for those other guys that could pop the ball at the ballpark, then he would really be helping the ball club.
Frank White will handle this one easily. And Quisenberry sits them down in order in the 7th inning. So, when the 8th inning commences, Amos Otis will lead off through 7-4-2 Royals. Back after this word from our local station.
Sunday, they're the wildest truckers on the road.
You must be out of your mind.
And they're leading an army of cops on a cross-country chase.
I hate truckers.
Allie McGraw and Chris Christopherson in Love and on the Run. Convoy.
Sunday. What you think you'd do if you found us?
Cloris Leachman.
Shoot, probably.
An Oscar-winning affair in the last picture show.
After the parades, after the promises, someone's got to work to keep the states and cities running. AFS, CME, ask me.
We're the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. AFSCME, the union that works for you.
AFS, CME, the union that works for you.
The Giant announces a revolutionary way to fly your overnight package. On the ground, it's Purelator Carrier's Northeast Connection. Same overnight delivery you'd get with a plane for about half the cost. Reliable overnight van service from New York to Boston, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. And hundreds of points in between. You don't pay for a plane when a van will do. The Northeast Connection from Purelator Carrier, the giant of the overnight package delivery business.
Lee Mazzilli tomorrow night, 7:30.
Back from the Goodyear Blimp on Yankee Stadium, where it's relatively quiet right now. The Royals and George Brett providing the difference. A 3-run homer in the 7th inning, 4-2. Kansas City on top, and Gossage is gone. Tom Underwood on to work here in the 8th inning.
Rather shocking.
I don't understand it either.
Well, he had some trouble down the stretch. It seemed like when they went to Cleveland, he struggled. Tommy John hurt his back. I don't know if it's the mound there. I know that we were there for the last weekend of the season. Tippy Martinez hurt his shoulder there. They have a mound that doesn't really slope maybe as much as some of the other ones in the leagues. I would think it'd have to be a physical problem.
You know, Jim, I think you find that a lot of ballparks that have professional football teams there. When they take those mounds off and they put them back up, I don't think they just put them up the same way that when they take them off. They tell you they do, but I don't ever see people going out there and measuring that mound after a football game to see if it's the same height that it should be.
We've gotten used to seeing some joyous scenes in that particular dugout over the past few years, but it's very solemn right now as Kansas City leads at 4-2. Go to the 8th inning. Amos Otis, Willie Aikens, and Darrell Porter coming up for KC.
Well, what did Yogi Berra say? It's not over till it's over. And that really applies here. I mean, they have the capabilities to come back.
Sure.
And here, Tommy Underwood's job is just to try to keep them from scoring.
Amos Otis, 0 for 3 tonight. 1-0 the count. Two and up.
Well, Amos may be going for the long ball in this 2-0, Jim, you think?
I don't think so. He really just didn't swing for home runs this year after he hurt the tendon in his hand.
Line into center field for a base hit. Goes right back through the middle. Ball skipping away from Brown. Otis takes a wide turn but holds. And the leadoff man is on. This telecast presented by authority of Major League Baseball, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited.
I thought you said I was going to read that.
I forgot. All right. I tell you what. We come back tomorrow.
Let Jim do it tomorrow, because I had my chance today.
You're going to open the show with it tomorrow night.
No, we'll let Jim do it. I had my chance today, and you wouldn't let me.
I tell you what, we send you down for the Victoria celebration, no matter who wins here.
Yes, thank you.
Aikens looks at the strike and the count 0-1.
Might you bunt here, Billy? Try to get another run? I think it'd be a lot more comfortable for Mr. Quisenberry if he had a 3-run lead. You have lefty versus lefty.
Well, Jim, you'd think so if he can bunt. Maybe he's one of those kind of guys that can't bunt. But I'd sure if he could bunt or he's half decent at it, you certainly would try it.
Report we get from the Yankee clubhouse, nothing physically wrong with Gossage. Hauser just opting for Underwood as Aikens hits a fly ball to left field. And Lou Piniella puts it away. 1 out of the 8th. This afternoon, that game went 11 innings. Houston winning it by a score of 1-0, but losing Cesar Cedeno in the process with a dislocated ankle. But the Astros are 1 game away from winning it in the National League. Game 4 there coming up tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. And if we're back here, 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. But right now, the Yankees down 4-2 in the 8th inning. First pitch to Porter. Ball 1. They've got him picked off. Watson to Dent. Nail him. One, 3-6. Seen 3 pickoffs in this series that way. It's technically a caught stealing.
Well, Kansas City has just outstanding speed, so if they do get caught off base, they really feel they can beat the ball to second. They haven't been able to do it primarily because Bobby Watson's made some excellent throws.
Again, we saw something out there, Jim, where maybe we should teach a little bit more, where if you are picked off like that, run more in the outside or the inside part of the baseline there, maybe they will stop that throw.
Porter hits it in the air to center field. Bobby Brown drifting back. And Kansas City is done here in the top of the 8th inning. No runs and a hit. And nobody left on. Watson, Jackson, and Gamble coming up. Bottom of the 8th inning. 4-2 Royals. Bottom of the 8th inning at Yankee Stadium. 3, 4, and 5 hitters for New York. Watson, Jackson, and Gamble against Quisenberry. 4 runs, 12 hits, and an error for the Royals. 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Yanks. Kansas City with Quisenberry and Porter, the infield, Akins, White, UL Washington, and George Brett. The outfield, Wilson, Otis. They've got John Watson in right field. Of course, Hurdle started the game. Watson remained in. Dick Hauser in the Yankee dugout is Watson. Sands in, 2 for 3. The only time he went out tonight, it took a fine play by White to nail him. 0-1. Oh, and 2. One ball, 2 strikes on Watson.
Jim, you're going to have to go down there. They're going to throw a fan out of here with an Oriole hat on.
It's impossible.
Hitting to left center field for a base hit and maybe more. Otis can't track it down all the way to the wall at 430 feet away. Watson rounding second, on his way to third. The throw is high, backed up by Quisenberry. It's a triple. Bob Watson with a single, a double, and now a triple.
And here you'll just see a ball, he kind of gets up, well, he's, I guess, down and in, a fairly good pitch. We talked about Death Valley. That's exactly where he hit it. Can't get to it. Questionable play right here. I think maybe a good relay is going to make it awfully close, but he throws it high, and the pitcher's exactly where he's supposed to be, backing up the play.
Well, with 2 runs down, I don't think I want him to be stretching out a triple. A triple doesn't mean anything at this point.
Kansas City infield, of course, can afford to play back with Jackson at the plate. 2-run Royals lead. Watson at third. Nobody out. 0-1. The only Yankee run on Quisenberry this season was a home run by Reggie Jackson prior to the couple he gave up in the 6th inning here tonight.
Well, he wants to obviously stay away from the home run, but he doesn't want to walk Reggie and put the winning run at home plate.
McCoy taking that one. Home plate umpire, and the count is 0-2. Two pitch to Jackson. 1-2 the count.
Well, he's going to be facing some tough customers. He's got Oscar Gamble on deck, and then you'll see Cerrone, and then you have Lou Piniella. You'll probably see Jim Spencer, another home run hitter, followed by Greg Nettles. He's got his work cut out for him, but 33 saves, definitely has the talent to do the job.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Reggie. Watson at third.
Something seems to be bothering Brett over there. I don't know what it is.
Yankee bullpen. Looking on. As Reggie awaits the 2-2 pitch and checks in time. Just outside. 3-2 the count.
Here, a pretty good pitch. Looks like it's a little bit off the plate. Reggie starts, and being as strong as he is, can hold up with a bat.
The pitch was outside.
This crowd now just rising as one. 3-2 on Reggie. Everybody standing.
Except the Kansas City Wives.
3-2 to Jackson. Ball 4.
Not a very good thing to do, Al. You walk Reggie, you set up a situation where they have to hold him on. You got Oscar Gamble, a pull hitter. If he hit the ball to right field, it's probably going to be a first and third situation. Here comes Jimmy Fry.
So Fry again walking deliberately to the mound as Oscar Gamble comes up for the second time. In the Kansas City bullpen.
Well, he's probably going to go out there and just talk to him, calm him down. And sometimes you go out there just to talk to him how he's going to pitch that certain hitter coming up.
Martin and Brett in the bullpen. They just began to warm up, as we mentioned before. Can't emphasize it enough, Billy. He's got his ace guy in there right now.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to switch now. He didn't switch before.
I would think that he would wait at least till the game is tied. You still have a guy that last inning he threw 3 harmless ground balls. He does have a sinker ball. If you bring in a left-hander, they'll probably pinch hit, but if you bring in a right-hander that's a high fastball pitcher, Oscar, even though most people think he's a low fastball hitter, can really drive the pitch up, especially out over the plate.
Royals leading 4-2, bottom of the 8th inning, nobody out. Watson at third and Jackson at first. Kansas City infield looking for the double play.
Oscar can get awful sudden up there. He can take you downtown real quick.
Deep, playing in the cold. 1-0.
We talked yesterday about what a good hitter Oscar Gamble was. You'd probably classify him as a free swinger, but he has a pretty good idea of the strike zone.
Way inside. 2 balls and no strikes to count. The raucous crowd at Yankee Stadium. And remember, Quisenberry had a great year, but still pretty young, relatively inexperienced.
Well, this is first playoff game, not games, but first playoff series.
He's losing his control out there right now. He just can't seem to get it. Well, it probably is because he's trying to keep the ball down.
Well, when he walked Reggie, he put the winning run at home plate, and that's exactly what you don't want to do. If he threw a home run to Reggie, the worst thing that could happen was the game would be tied. And that's the thing that Earl Weaver over the years, you don't want to do it, but at least you don't lose.
And he walks them on 4. They're loaded up. So at the bottom of the 8th inning, the Yankees have the bases loaded and nobody out, and Rick Cerrone, the batter.
Rick has had good luck against him. He's hit him hard 3 times now. Twice tonight and once the other day, so he's got his work cut out for him.
Cerrone drove in what was then the go-ahead run in the 6th inning. in the bullpen. He and Brett down there throwing, but really hanging around. It's up to Quisenberry.
They were up earlier, so they're probably loose. I think they're pretty interested in what's going to happen up at home plate.
That's a strike on a delayed call by McCoy, and the count 1-1.
Sometimes, Al, I used to get him up just to make the other manager make a switch, make him think that I might make a switch. Or stop him from making a switch, let me put it that way.
Big guys out in the pen, maybe send somebody out in the on-deck circle, make the other guy think. Line drive caught by Washington, goes to second. They get a double play as Reggie gets doubled off at second base, and the other runners get back.
Well, that's not very good base running, is it?
No.
No, that's what you tell your coaches all the time. Tell the runners, don't get doubled off on a line drive. You're 2 runs down. If the ball goes through, he can't score anyway. The ball's hit too hard, so you just have to stay there, and he just got doubled off. It's a play that happens to a base runner when they're over anxious and they're just trying real hard.
And Reggie Jackson gets caught off second, caught by a mile, too. 2 down, runners at first and third. And the Yankees going to the bench for Spencer. Pinella scheduled up. The left-hand batting Jim Spencer with good power. Coming up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, batting for Pinella.
2 on and 2 out.
Number 12.
Bottom of the 8th inning. The Royals on top 4-2. Jim, and I'd say he's got a lot of things on his mind. Baby girl, Jamie, born prematurely. Operation recently, wife Fran. And tough period for them, and obviously we're all extending our best.
Definitely. Fran's a very good friend of mine, and we're all rooting for you.
Back in Baltimore.
Right.
Well, Lithicum. Well, this guy's hit a lot of clutch home runs for him, Buzz. Low fastball pull hitter. Very capable of reaching the right field seat.
Runners at first and third, 2 down, bottom of the 8th inning, 4-2 Kansas City. One and 0 the count. Hauser. Bouncing ball to White. And Quisenberry works out of a bases loaded, no out jam. So the Yankees here in the bottom of the 8th come up empty. Leadoff triple by Watson, couple of walks, but then the double play, and they take care of Spencer as Reggie Jackson returns to right field. The man doubled off, a bit over anxious at second base. So at the end of 8, Kansas City leading the Yankees by a score of 4-2. And the difference in the game, a 3-run homer by George Brett in the 7th inning to put the Royals out in front. I spoke with George in Kansas City before the start of the playoffs.
If you were to take a look at one thing in this series, the key offensively, would it be speed? Would it be the fact that the Royals might have to hit a couple of home runs against the Yankees? Anything offensively that you see as perhaps providing the difference?
Well, I think home runs play a big part in the Yankee series that we've played against each other in 76, 77, and 78. We're not a home run hitting team, although every once in a while we can hit a few balls out of the ballpark. I think if we can hit some home runs off Guidry, off John, I think it's definitely going to work to our advantage. It's a little easier to score runs when you hit home runs than you do the way we used to do it, and that's just get 3 or 4 base hits in a row because the odds are against you. but we're a good ball club, and I think we're capable of hitting the long ball. We're very capable of stealing bases. We got six or seven guys that can hit and run. I just look for an exciting series, and if we can put a good offense together, we got a chance to beat them.
George Brett with some very salient comments the way things turned out. Joe LaFay takes over in left field as we go to the ninth.
It's like calling his own shot, isn't it?
Yeah. Knees. John Wathan leading off in the top of the ninth inning. Wathan, White, and Wilson pitch in for a strike in the count 0-1. Dick Hauser, when his team comes up in the bottom of the ninth, Nettles, Brown, and Randolph, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Crowd of 56,588 at Yankee Stadium. Down to Watson. 3 unassisted. 1 out of the ninth inning. Frank White, the batter.
Frank White.
Well, the Kansas City Royals hoping it turns out to be a one-day trip to New York.
They'll be going crazy in KC.
They won't need a plane to get back there, will they?
No, I don't believe so.
1-0 the count. The Royals seeking their first pennant ever. Of course, Kansas City had the A's before they went to Oakland. And after they were in Philadelphia, they never won a pennant in Kansas City. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. George Brett, this is really a marvelous story in terms of the Royals. You talk about expansion clubs in sports, what they have done. Kansas City Royals weren't even in existence until 1969. Started from scratch.
Well, I think it's a tribute to Mr. Kaufman. Built a great complex, built a great team.
Bunted. Nettles picking it up and throwing and getting him. On a close play at first base. Frank White doesn't agree with that call, and Jim Fry is going to come out to have a few words with Bill Haller. So 2 down. Kansas City Wives. We take a look at the play again.
Well, it just looks like a lot of the plays before. Looks like a tie. I'm sure Jimmy Fry's saying, you know, it's not over. I know we have a 2-run lead, but I think he was safe, and that's what he wanted to call.
Well, I think it's the right thing for Jim to go out there and argue. His player was arguing. He's got to go out there and stick up for his player. If he doesn't do it, then the player's going to say, look, the manager's not even arguing for me.
I mean, the game's not over by any means.
No way.
Haller's really had some tough plays to call at first base tonight.
I thought he'd done a fabulous job down there. He's really had some tough pieces right, Jim.
Willie Wilson, 2 for 4. Because of the length of tonight's game, the show Fridays will not be presented this evening. We'll return next week at its regular time. 0-1 the count on Willie Wilson. Tommy Underwood in relief of Tommy John and Goose Gossage. Kansas City, Kaufman's owning the team, and Joe Burke has done a great job in that front office. John Sherholz, PR man Dean Vogelar, one of the very, very best.
Quite a guy. Quite a guy.
Let's not forget the fans.
Yep.
I think it's one of the few towns we really enjoy going to because they just appreciate, I think, the game of baseball. You can pitch a good game against them, and they appreciate that, and they let you know that.
Tremendous fans.
Well, they sure come out. Over 2 million in the last couple of years.
1-2 pitch is up and in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out and the base is empty in the 9th inning. Dick Hauser. Not much he can do at this point.
Well, this is what they call a purpose pitch. It's not that far inside, far enough. He's either going to probably go away or throw him a breaking ball.
He struck him out. So Underwood does the job. Keeps the Royals close. They go out in order. You've got Nettles, Brown, and Randolph coming up bottom of the 9th. It's 4-2 Kansas City. Back after this message going to work for our local station. Well, the Yankees have Nettles, Brown, and Randolph in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Royals trying to sweep it. 4-2. Kansas City on top. Quisenberry, who's been on since the 6th inning, facing Nettles. 0 for 1 tonight. 1-0 the count.
I don't know what he's going to do, but he ought to be going right after him.
There is Ewing Kaufman and his wife, Ewing and Muriel Kaufman, the Royals owners, looking on in eager anticipation in the count 2-0 on Nettles.
Well, you said many times, Billy, the last couple of days, there's no defense for walks.
No, and they don't even have their bullpen up out there, Jim. Look at that.
Kansas City went into first place on the 23rd of May. Never looked back. That's a strike. And the count 2-1 on Nettles.
Have him take here, Bill. Try to get on.
Well, not 2-1, Jim. I wouldn't know.
High fly ball to center field. Amos Otis in underneath it. 1 out. 1 away in the 9th inning. Bobby Brown, the batter. Alan Roth, who's done such a fabulous job for us statistically this year, reminded me of the Royals finishing strong this season after a little swale period in September. They won 5 in a row and 8 of their last 9. Surge continuing in the championship series. 0-1 the count on Brown.
I think a very underrated baseball team. Had the best record in baseball through July and August. Would have won way over 100 games if they hadn't gone into that swoon.
High fly ball to left field. Willie Wilson right there. 2 down. So the Yankees down to their last out. Willie Randolph, the batter.
He's going to do everything he can to get on base. I don't think you'll be seeing him swing until he gets 2 strikes.
I don't think so either. Of course, you never know.
Bucky Dent is on deck. The Yankees, a lethargic attack in this series. That's a strike, 0-1. The Yankees 2 runs on Wednesday. Just 2 last night. Just 2 so far tonight. 0-1 the count on Randolph.
I don't think Willie liked that call at all.
Those balls running in on the right-handers, and the pitch right before Cerrone lined out last inning for that double play was questionable.
One and one.
Well, they argue a little bit, and that pitch was almost in the same spot.
Bobby Mercer's come out on deck. He'll bat for Dent if Randolph gets on. 2 and 1.
I guess that's why you argued, Jim, out there. Huh?
You argue that one to get the next one, right? Well, Willie had 119 walks in it. Right now, his job is to get on first for a guy like Bobby Mercer. Maybe he'll pop one.
2-1 pitch. Bounce foul and the count 2-2. So the Royals are a strike away. 2 out, bases empty. Randolph taking a walk back of the plate.
Jimmy Fry taking a walk up and down the dugout.
Ooh. Quisenberry. Crowd trying to get the Yankees stirred up. 2-2 on Randolph. Full count, 3-2. George Brett, his 3-run homer in the 7th inning, the difference. Time call by the left field umpire. Steve Palermo. Got the garbage coming out of the stands, left field. Three and 2 the count. Called strike 3, and Kansas City wins the pennant. in 77, and 78, coming into New York and sweeping the American League Championship Series. Greg Nettles, a reflection of the Yankee mood. Quisenberry, Cerrone, the Royals bullpen. And back they go into the clubhouse. Bob Uecker is down there. The Kansas City Royals have swept it. Led by Brett and Wilson and Quisenberry and White, who had a sensational series. And let's go to